Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that fam? What's going on, family? How y'all doing, man? Welcome to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. I'm just hollering at the family. Man, it's middle of the week. We checking in with the family. Who that to the family in the black and gold building? You heard me? Looking at all the great family members in the building. Surprise stream. Actually, it's not a surprise. Y'all knew we was coming. You know, family. Well, I'd like to welcome everybody into the live chat on this fantastic middle of the week. And I tell you what, man, I just, it's awesome, man. It's absolutely awesome to be able to get somebody in the building, man. All the great and beautiful family members. I appreciate y'all chiming in to the midweek Sports Coma live coming at the family. And I'd like to give a shout out to all the family members early on in the building. First up, your boy Cuts at G Cuts. Who that to your family? Good to see you in the chat. Who that? Subscribe if you're not a subscriber there. Your boy Cuts. Good to see your family. Will Musgrove. Who that to your family? Javier. What's going on, Javier? Who that to you, fam? Good to see you in the chat. Travis Wharton. Who that, baby? Who that to you, Travis? Caleb Kaiser. What's up, fam? He said Dez Bryant 2 weeks away. We're going to cover that in today's live stream, Caleb. We're going to get into that, family. We're going to get into it. We're going to break it down. I got a few stories I'm going to share with y'all, and then we're going to hit the live chat. Any questions, concerns, or comments, I want y'all guys to post them in the live chat. Coming at you kind of late. I wanted to do one at 7. Was a little busy today, so I just said, man, I got to still talk to the family members and go over some stuff with them midweek. Got the Saints injury report, some Dez news to hit you with you. As you can see, the thumbnail there showing quite a few things. Also, interviews from Drew Brees, Terron Armstead, Cam Jordan, and plus questions, concerns, comments from the live chat. We'll get to as many of them as we possibly can and holler at the family. So just be a little patient with me, Caleb. We're going to get into that one. Who that? Scant that. What's happening, family? Good to see you in the chat, in the live chat. He says Star Gardner Johnson or P.J. Williams. Who that from Tennessee? Good to see you there. Who that? Scant that. Subscribe, fam, if you're not a subscriber, man. Starting to see a lot of great new Sports Coma family, black and gold family members in the building. We're gonna get. I'm gonna answer that one too. We're gonna get into that. Who that? Scant that, bro. Let me tell you something, man. I answer all the questions, bro. We don't ignore anybody here on the Sports Coma. I call your name. I answer your questions, your concerns, or comments. I don't get off this goddamn air until I answer all the questions, concerns, and comments. That's how we do. We don't play that bull crap here. This is the greatest platform in the history of Saints fandom as far as listening to and dealing with Saints information. I mean, we have some of the greatest black and gold brains in just big ups to the family members. And it's not because of me, it's because all the great, beautiful, and intelligent Saints family we got out there with all them great black and gold brains, man. I appreciate everybody, but we're going to get into that, family. I'm going to hit that. Let me answer that question as well. Let me get you to chat. Who that to you, Kelvin? I see you, baby. Says Dez Bryant never going to be. A little skeptical out here, you, Kelvin. Caution. Who that, baby? What's up, Caution? He says Dez not coming back. We might as well forget him. Who that to you, Adrian? Number one fan in the building. Who that to you, baby? Shedrick. What up, Shedrick? Who that to your family? AJ. What's up, fam? He says President Trump is in my home city of Monroe, Louisiana. All right, there go the Trumpsters up there. Who that to you, AJ? Purple Knight says somebody hit the dislike button. Who that? Block that bum. Just some hater, man. You gotta let probably some Atlanta fan parading to be a Saints fan. You got plenty of them that claim to be Saints fans, but they're really secret other people fans, and they just want to be down. And then every time the Saints do something wrong, they're like, see, I told you they was going to make a mistake, so you can't trust. That was them fake, them slick Falcons fans on the slick. So that's probably who that is. We're going to get him out of here as soon as I find out who he is. Travis, who that to you? Says we about to have Falcon feathers all over the dome. Who that? Revolt Control. Who that? Revolt. Kyle Davis, who that to your family? I see your Caution said, did Davenport play his last game? I don't remember seeing him out there. He was out there, Caution. He just didn't make much of an impact. Dequine, what's up, Dequine? It's been a while, baby. He says, I'm here, Q. What it do, baby? Who that to you too, Dequine? Your boy Cuts. I've been a fan and subscriber. Okay, good, your boy Cuts. Appreciate your family. Thank you. Dequine, appreciate the donation, family. Appreciate you, man. We're going to put that to good use here. Joey, who that to Joey? He said, who that? My G. Who that Joy and Isabella, big ups to the fam. T Dirty, what's up, T Dirty, baby? He says, who that Big Q, who that for life? It's gumbo season, and I like Falcon in my gumbo. That's right, T Dirty, baby. Good to see you, fam. Tory Ice, what's up, Tory? He says, should Chauncey Gardner-Johnson start over P.J. Williams? Man, that's a lot. That's great questions. I'm going to tell you something, Tory. You and who that, Scant that, man, y'all on the same page. We're going to answer that question, family. I promise you we're going to get to all of that. And Sean D, what's happening, baby? Good to see you, fam. Robert Clark, who that, baby? All the family members chiming in the building. Good to see you guys in the midweek sports coma edition. In this one, family, we're going to cover some news, talk about Dez. We're going to get to the injury report. We're going to play first up the bat. We're going to hit these injuries. Joey says, living the enthusiasm. Say, bro, it's only one way to be when you're a Saints fan, baby. And that's enthusiastic because you know what time it is, baby. It's going down. And regardless if we get Dez or not, we going to that bowl. You heard me? We going to the bowl. It's no doubts about it because, like I said, a lot of great news to get the family amped on. Not going to do the Falcons versus Saints preview until Saturday. We could be able to open up the phone lines, let the family call in. You know, Saturday we'll do like a 2-hour, maybe 3-hour show, kick it off at 11 or maybe an hour earlier so to give the family more opportunities to call in, all that kind of stuff. But I won't get into that Falcons versus Saints game on that our special Saturday edition. So you heard me. T Dirty says, 985, who that to you, baby? 985J in the building. Good to see you, fam. T Dirty says, Dez or not to be. That is the question. Thank you, T Dirty. Joy says, loving. I'm telling you, who that? I feel you, Joy. Big ups to your family. Loving it, man. Absolutely loving it. But like I said, family, we're going to get in that Dez news. We're going to cover you with the injury report. We're going to go over that. And we're going to play some interviews. I got 3 interviews keyed up for. I'm going to play for you guys today. I'm going to start it off with Drew Brees and how his interview talking about coming up against the Falcons and his best football is ahead of him and all this kind of great stuff. We're going to let Drew talk to you and we'll break it down. So before I get into the news, the Saints news, I want to play Drew. We got Terron Armstead. We're going to mix the interviews in between the discussions. But first up is Drew Brees talking about the upcoming matchup against the Falcons, among other things. Here's Drew.
Drew, what did you do to stay in rhythm once you got back in rhythm this last game? Yeah. What did you do to stay in rhythm now?
Spent last week here, continuing to work out, continuing to rehab, just trying to get healthier and healthier. Spend time throwing with some of the guys that were on the mend as well. So, hopefully we'll have everybody back this week and, just continue to build on, what we've done up to this point.
I know every team handles the bye differently. How much do you think, maybe in the last 10 years you all have gotten away from football. How much do you think that helps people kind of just maybe forced to take a break even if you don't want to?
No, listen, I think it's appropriate. You have to have a level of maturity in order to do it that way, and I think that's what we have with this team. And, I think the results have been good. I think guys understand that with that comes responsibility, not to get too far away, you know what I'm saying? And yet, just an opportunity to recharge the battery, to get your body healthy, and to come back, full strength, ready to go, refocused, because, our best football needs to be ahead of us here.
As you get later in the season, do you pay more attention to what other teams around you are doing?
No, not really, because we don't control what they do, right? We only control what we do. And I think if we maintain that mindset, then that will serve us well.
How beneficial is it to have a team that's seasoned enough to understand this down stretch, this back stretch, especially the spate of division games you get ready to play?
Yeah, you said it. Divisional games are the most important games. They're really worth 2 when it comes down to it, and they're always battles. Regardless of record, regardless of standing, we know what these games mean. We know how physical these games are. We know how tough they are. And so we need to bring our best football, especially this week.
How did you prepare yourself to make sure there wasn't any drop off after a 5-week absence?
Well, even though I couldn't throw a football, I could train to throw a football, and that may not make sense, but I think that's something that I have people, mentors that I've worked with throughout my career that during the offseason have helped me kind of generate that routine and that discipline to still be in the moment, to still train yourself to throw a football, to still train yourself to play quarterback, even though maybe you can't be in there actually taking the reps or actually throwing a football yet. So doing that, and then obviously it was great to be able to come back the week before the bye and get a game under my belt. I felt like I was shaking off a little bit of rust, during the course of that game, honestly. But hopefully we can just continue to build and keep the confidence and the momentum going.
How did that fun respond?
That's Drew Brees, fam. Drew chiming in with his thoughts on, of course, a number of topics, including his shaking off the rust analogy. And, I mean, to be honest with you, Drew didn't look like he missed any games. I mean, he reached on the play when he tried to throw the ball to Zach Line and ended up overthrowing him to an interception to Peterson. But to be quite honest with you, Drew Brees was damn near flawless in that game. And that's just really just amazing. Just really, seriously, that's really freaking amazing that Drew Brees was able to look like that after missing 5 weeks and having his thumb on his throwing hand swole up like that. So, I mean, it's wow, man. Just wow. I mean, we got the greatest quarterback in the NFL, baby. Who that? It's just awesome, man. That's why I say I'm so stupid. When you see stuff like that happen, man, you see how swole up his thumb looked. He couldn't even grip a football five or so weeks ago. And then, of course, the dialogue of whether or not he should play against the Arizona Cardinals. He answered all that, didn't he? His injuries, all that, man. I mean, just simply amazing, man. You hear me? That's amazing, man. And that's what I'm saying. I'm just really stoked about the fact that the Saints, Drew came back. He healed fast because he knows that this team is headed for big things. Anytime you can win games without your Hall of Fame quarterback, without your all-pro running back, without your high-priced tight end, without your best nickel back, you continue to churn out wins regardless, man. This is a special, special team forged through the fires of NFL hell from the devil himself called Roger Goodell. Now, make me go in that spiel. Y'all seen the last show when I did my impersonation of the imps, and I don't know what the hell I was thinking, man. I just thought that was appropriate. But anyway, big ups to the family, man. Joining us, Will Musgrove says hit the like button and share button. Family, thank you, William. Appreciate you, fam. Who that to you, Desmond Roman? I see you, baby. Soldier for God 77 says, who that big Q? Shout out from San Antonio, man. I missed some good gumbo. Oh, man, bro. Haven't had, you know what? It's gumbo all the way around us here, man. I ain't even it's getting cold, though. It's getting cold, so it's time to get that gumbo circulating, family. But, hopefully you make a trip to the city soon, fam. Desmond says, who that? Let's go after AB. Only 8 games left. Don't need them, fam. Des, we don't need them, Desmond. We don't need AB and all his million problems. Scoob Doop says, what up, Scoob? He says, what it do, Q? Who that, family? What's up, baby? T Dirty said, what's up with Traquan Smith? Q, I need to see this guy step up big. And who that to you, Kyle Davis? I see my dog Kyle in there. But anyway, fam, that's right. Let's get into some of the news, family. And I wanted to kind of hit the family with and kind of go over some of the latest news. We're going to start with the Dez Bryant story that seems to be really hot right now because the family had that question. Now, this is coming from several sources, including ESPN and a few others that's chiding this. And one of my favorite reporters, John Sigler from the Saints Wire, I respect the hell out of him. He's always on top of it. But this is one of his stories as well. He reported on that Dez Bryant says he's 2 weeks away from the NFL. Now, I've read several reports, including the one that John Sigler got this report from, that's basically based on a tweet that was sent out by Dez Bryant that's coming off of his Twitter feed. Like I said, he's very active on his Twitter feed. He tweets about a lot of different things, and not so much people have been hitting him about the Saints stuff. He'd be kind of chilling on that, and he basically throws it out there when he's ready. Now, according to this is his tweet from Twitter. He says, I'm not trying to go nowhere and be a starter on a team. I want to contribute because I know I will be able to. I'm feeling good. In 2 weeks, I'm going to reach out to teams and see what happens. Let's go X. Now, that's from a tweet there. Now, to give you some backdrop, we all know the situation that happened with him, the former Cowboy. He kind of been transparent in his recovery. He tore that Achilles tendon last year. He's been sharing updates throughout through his training process, through this whole ordeal. Then the latest word from the Pro Bowler puts him on a timetable that's still 2 weeks out. Now, it's a setback according to previously where he said he wanted to come back in mid-October. Remember, we said somewhere in November. Remember, the Saints signed him around that same time frame. And then he wrote in Twitter what I just read to you. Now, it's also said that he wants to make his first call to New Orleans. That's what he said in several interviews, that New Orleans was the first one. And they do have other teams that are interested in Dez Bryant that would like him to come to them. But New Orleans is the first one up. According to him, he says that the Saints still have room for him, explaining that he feels he owes them and Coach Payton for giving him a shot after the Cowboys released him. And that is still the case. Now, Dez Bryant's a guy that likes to always put his word out. You know what I'm saying, family? The fact that he goes by his word and the fact that he believes in the Saints organization is paramount. Think about it like this. Remember last year, Dez Bryant came on the team. Everybody was excited. Mark Ingram, everybody was doing the X after he went down. But when he came here, a lot of people were excited because they knew that his skill set, maybe he lost a step or two dealing with injuries and coming away from Dallas, but Dallas basically just dumped him off. And the Saints were a perfect fit for Dez Bryant's skill set right now. We don't need him to be a speedster, but he's a red zone threat. He's a guy that knows how to run good routes, and he's a good catcher of the ball. Drew Brees will find that man underneath. And like I said, I remember playing the report several times on previous shows when we covered Dez Bryant that he did say unfinished business. Shit, I said unfinished business before he said it. When all that happened, when I said no, it's no way in the world that Dez Bryant's going to go to another organization once he heals and comes back. He got unfinished business with the New Orleans Saints organization. And that's exactly what he said much later on. But it's really good to see and a lot of family members been asking and emailing, asking, what you think about that, Q? You think that this guy is going to come back and help the Saints? And listen, Dez Bryant's word is good as gold as far as I'm concerned. He's always been a guy that stepped up. He followed his word into it. If Dez Bryant told you that he's going to give the Saints an opportunity to sign him first, that is what he's going to do. Now, the reason why he's taking so long is obvious. The fact of the matter is that remember when he came off of an injury, when he left the Dallas Cowboys, to leaving the Cowboys and then ultimately dealing with injuries when he was in his later years with the Cowboys, which fostered him being released in the first place. Ultimately, when he came with the Saints, he got hurt right in that practice, and that's kind of when he reached around to that age group. You got to remember, Dez didn't want to come back until he felt that he was 100% cured of his ailments so he can contribute. And trust and believe, the man probably sick of rehabbing after injury and going back into it over again. That is a very just mentally depleting thing. So Dez Bryant taking his time, unlike our QB counterpart during his injury, but Dez is taking his time and walking at his own pace to get here. So listen, fam, the Saints have already freed the money. Remember, they reworked Larry Warford's deal, freed up $5 million, which ultimately transferred $2.75 to the Saints cap. So guess what? The money's there. That's number one. Number two, the releasing of Ken Crawley. The spot's there. You get me? That's two. And the third caveat, besides him saying that I'm giving New Orleans the first opportunity to sign me because I got unfinished business, if you want a bonus on top of those three, how about the fact that his skill set fits perfectly with what the Saints need about right now? You get me? I mean, think about that. Dez Bryant underneath Ted Ginn and Mike Thomas, and then you throw all them other wide receivers in there. You couldn't have asked for a good mix here. You got Jared Cook coming back. I mean, come on now. It's going down in the city, baby. I mean, who that to the family? Who wouldn't want to be a member of the Black and Gold Nation? I take Dez Bryant. And AB is a good player, don't get me wrong, but man, I ain't got no time for all those games. AB got to get his head straight. We need to just leave that alone. So Dez Bryant on the strength is really something I'm really vibing on at Dez Bryant, because I really do think that he is going to come here and play for the Saints based on his word, family. Just to throw that out there. Okay, fam, let me answer one of the couple of the questions the family members before we go into our next interview, which is Terron Armstead. Who that Scant that said start Gardner Johnson or PJ Williams? Who that from Tennessee? Who that back to you, family? And of course, another family member, Tori Ice, asked the same thing. Should Chauncey Gardner-Johnson start over P.J. Williams? That is an excellent question. And the reality is, some people, the coaches, old school coaches, would tell you that a player can't lose his position due to injury. That's a bunch of bull crap in today's NFL. And usually the position goes to the player that's playing the hottest. P.J. Williams was solid once he finally got his stuff together. Listen, some would argue he's the best tackling cornerback you have. But man, listen, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson has so much upside. It'll be really surprising to me if they remove Chauncey Gardner-Johnson out of that position and put P.J. Williams back in it. I mean, I wouldn't say really surprising, but I wouldn't do it. I'm going to just be honest with you. I wouldn't do it. I would keep Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in that third spot because of how he looked. Remember, over the last 2 games, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson just didn't go there and just turn invisible. He was 3rd and 4th on the team in tackles in that from the nickel position, which means that, guess what? They were going at Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. They was testing the rookie. Did he look like he was shy? Did he look like he was uncomfortable? Did he look like he was anything else but a playmaker out there having the ball, jumping around, slapping, high-fiving, talking mess, all this kind of stuff? When he did the short man thing to your boy from the Chicago Bears. All that, man. The guy just having fun, man. He looked like he belongs out there. And if it was up to me, I would keep Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in the starting line. I would keep him at that nickel position. I'm sorry to P.J. Williams, but listen, you look at the current ramification. The guy is obviously, right now, I ain't going to say he's a better cornerback, but he exhibits certain qualities that are better than P.J. Williams, like the fact that he has the ability to he's looking to make a play on the ball as opposed to, he's looking for interceptions as opposed, like you want your cornerbacks to. You're looking to make interceptions, and he's an excellent tackler. Several open field, T-Dirty, baby, this right at you. Remember how many open field tackles this guy made? Remember he tackled Tariq Cohen. Now, Cohen's a scat bat with all kind of speed who was so elusive in the open field. He went right to him and took him down. And when Chauncey Gardner-Johnson hits you, he taking you down. He ain't just throwing his body up against you. He hits and wraps. He hits, it's a collision, and then he wraps. That dude, that's how you do it. He has a safety mentality playing the cornerback position, and I love it. I love it. The fact that he's young, he's a rookie at that position, and this could translate into the future with our other young cornerbacks when P.J. Williams is basically on a 1-year deal. So I would vote for, even though I wouldn't be surprised if Dennis Allen said we're going to reinstall P.J. Williams back in there. But Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, in my book, has played so well in the position that I would not take him out. I'm sorry, but this ain't the old school game where a player can't lose his job due to injury. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was special, man, in these last couple of games, and I want to see more of him. Seriously. So, that's the answer to the family's question. Big ups. Okay, to keep going on in the chat, man, before I throw this Terron Armstead interview on here. Hold on just a second, family. Let me get it all set up here. Because and more on Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, man. Like I said, man, I just special player, man. I just got to give it to him, man. I love what the dude doing. I love how he played the game. I love his intensity. I love his attitude. The dude's a special player. Trust me on that, man. I'm telling you, he got a future beyond this year. Seriously, man. Anyway, getting back into the chat. Let's read some of the family comments before we spin Terron Armstead. Javier says, Saints are going to retire Dan Quinn from the Falcons. Purple Knight, who that to you, baby? He says, Soldier for God, I'm that SA2, brother. Who that? See, we got Purple Knight. We got my dog, Soldier for God 77. The family members meeting up. It's the same thing with Devin and my dog, Revolt Control out there in ATL. See, the family members can, meet. Just show that camaraderie. So far away from home, but yet so close. You get me? Barack alone, Maya. Who that to you, baby? Purple Knight says, yes, sir, we went home last weekend. Let me see. Hold on, family. Kind of scrolled on me. Kelvin says, hopefully anybody else pick him up. Daquan says, Keep in mind, last time LSU won a national championship, it was in the Superdome. The last time the Saints won a Super Bowl, it was in Miami. The stars have aligned, and it's our year. That's got to be the question, the comment of the night right there, Daquan. Daquan, that's got to be the comment or the factoid of the night. How about that? LSU won a championship when it was in the Superdome. Saints won it in Miami. They both had bye weeks at the same time. It's just too many occurrences to ignore. You see what I'm saying, family? Man, come on with it. Thank you, Daquan. I appreciate the hell out of that, man. Big up. Soldier for God said, okay, cool. I went to John Eric. Okay, John Eric. Purple Knight says, got you. Good to know, fellow Saints fans. See, we meeting the family meeting each other. Derek, who that to you, baby? Torres says, you're right about our rookie candidate, CJ. Who don't want to see CJ, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in there, bro? I know what PJ Williams is made of. I done seen enough. I've seen 4 or 5 years of PJ Williams, shenanigans going up and down like a broken elevator or something. I want to see what Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I'm really impressed with Chauncey Gardner, not over these last 2 games, but his performance throughout preseason, training camp, mini camp, rookie camp. Since he's been drafted and been in the Saints uniform, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson has exhibited excellent qualities. And I just wanted to see more. I was saying then they should convert him to a cornerback and play him. But he's a unique mixture. He's a guy that likes to hit, but he can cover your ass. He's really fast. I mean, the dude is an excellent mix of player. He's almost like Von Bell. Remember when Von Bell came out? Von Bell could play the nickel, and he was a safety. But Chauncey Gardner he's bigger than Von. He's more built for that nickel role, and his mentality, family. When he's taking on nothing is bigger. He out there, it's like he was made for it, and I love that, man. I love that. Torres says, according to NFL experts, Saints are ranked 3rd best team in the power rankings. You agree? Now, you know, Torres, not to ask me about them dumbass experts, but, you know, I got to answer the fam, ask me a question. So I got to answer the man straight up. Do I agree? No, I don't agree. I think the Saints are actually better than the 3rd ranking in the NFL. I think the Saints are better than 3rd. I think the Saints should be put up there in the top 2 spots. It shouldn't be a 3rd. There isn't any 3rd team in NFL better than the Saints. And only people they probably own, I don't know what that ranking is, but I promise you the first 2 teams they probably got above the Saints are either San Francisco or the blasted New England Patriots. It's either one or the other. It's either one or the other. And I do think the Patriots had a soft schedule, one of the softest in the league. And the San Francisco 49ers have been untested. We'll see what they made of this week when they take on Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. Because I think Russell Wilson is the truth. He's the midseason MVP in many people's books, how he's been playing. And I want to see how the 49ers, they got a legit defense. Let's see how they go up against against the Seattle Seahawks. We'll see. In my book, the Saints should be a top 2 team in NFL based upon everything we went through. How we keep sliding me back to 3. You take them people's quarterbacks, running backs, wide receiver, tight end, or whoever, and take them away and give them their backups. They couldn't win those games without those guys. Now, I can give credit to Carolina. They're winning games without Glam Newton there. But Allen is really, he has good weapons. He's a smart kid. He knows where to go with the ball. But at the end of the day, the Saints should be higher than 3rd. So, no, I disagree with that power ranking. Thank you, Tori. Kevin Brooks, who that to you, family? Good to see you on the live stream. Who that to you? Soldier says he can really tackle. I like him. I agree. Leave him at the number 3. Thank you, Soldier for God 77. The man can tackle. Now, only thing PJ Williams had that people could say, man, PJ could tackle his ass off. But Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is just as good, if not a better tackler than PJ. I mean, and guess what? He makes some really tough tackles. He makes open field tackles on players that you shouldn't try to make open field. Like I keep going back to the Terry Cohen tackle. Terry Cohen's a scat back with a lot of movement. He'll shake you out your socks, have your head spinning in circles. But did Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, did he stutter when he took him on? He went up there and flipped this little ass upside down. So that's what I'm saying. And then several other tackles that I seen on film from Gardner is excellent. The dude's off the chain. That's why I said keep him in there, man. You got a good vibe and rhythm with him. Appreciate it. Kevin Gardner, who that to you? Say Q, why not rotate them? Both guys been playing well. Come playoff time, we need all hands on decks that we can get. That's true. Rotating them, I don't know, bro. I mean, I like our depth. You know, what's wrong with being the dime back on the Saints defense? You know, not a damn thing. You know, we just will have 4 solid cornerbacks in that position. But in terms of the future of the team, you gotta look. I'm looking at terms of the future of the team. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's a rookie. You know, he can only get better. His ceiling is unbeknown. We know what PJ Williams is. We know what PJ is going to be. We know he's inconsistent. He knows he's up and down. We know that, but we don't yet know who Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is. Plus the fact that he's on a rookie contract and PJ is on a final year of a 1-year deal. So I'm not disrespecting PJ. PJ playing really well. I just think that he went out at the wrong time. And Chauncey Gardner-Johnson took advantage of it. So, man, it's just a good problem to have. Nothing wrong with being a dime back in the Saints defense. I'm just going to keep it real with you. You never know when you will need that depth to come, in and help. So, we looking good, man. I'll tell you, we looking good. Thank you for that, Kevin. Joy says Crawley with the Dolphins now. Yeah, we covered that on the last show. Joy, Crawley, before you walk it, is now walking and crawling with the Miami Dolphins, who's really crawling. They stink, they suck, and the worst team in NFL picked Ken Crawley up. Is that a hint for anything? But at least he got picked up, right? So that's a good thing. Derek says, "School, why I'm back, baby. Was in the hospital with kidney stones." Damn, Derek. Let's give a big who that blessing out to my dog Derek L. Man, dealing with. I did not know that, Derek. Kidney stones ain't nothing to play with, bro. That ain't nothing to play with. That'll bring a grown man down to his knees, yelling out, "Please!" I mean, that's just something, man. That's hard. So everybody in the chat, let's send a big black and gold loving who that blessing to Derek L. dealing with them kidney stones. Big up to you, brother. Appreciate you. Torrey said, "Did you know the Saints' first ever head coach Tom Fears played for the Los Angeles Rams?" Torrey, I didn't know that about Tom Fears, but you know what I'm saying? I didn't know that, family. I didn't know that he played for the Rams, but Tom Fears, boy, was he terrible. That was that's another. See, Paul, our historian, he'll probably break that down and come in the show. But Torrey dropping some knowledge on the thinkers. Torrey, Ray Anderson, what's happening, family? Says 13 plus 41 plus 87 plus 88 plus 28 equals offense Breeze. I like that math. That's Saints math right there. Ray, appreciate you, brother. Who that? Guess who says who that, family? Big ups to you. Guess who? Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Both Ray Anderson and Guess Who and all the family. Derek says CGJ was one of our best draft steals. He has a high football IQ. That was the thing they were saying. He also did a little special teams too, family. With Florida. And I remember Chauncey Gardner-Johnson last year when LSU played him, he was making plays in the back. I was like, who the hell is this dude? But man, he's fantastic, man. I'm glad he's a Saint. Donovan, who that to you? Donovan says, who that, baby? Guess who says, it's on now. Everybody healthy, black. It's on now. Everybody healthy, black and gold to the Super Bowl. Who that? Who that to you, Kevin Brooks? I appreciate your family. And big up, see the family member wishing Derek much love. See, that's family, man. That's family. That's why I tell everybody that come to the black and gold, the Sports Coma family, it's about love here, man. We love and respect each other, man. We get on here, we meet up, we talk. Man, come on, man. This is what a family's supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to be. You don't have to pay me to talk to you. Send donations. Right, Scoob? That's wrong, baby. But anyway, man, I appreciate, man, everybody for wishing Derek well wishes, man. Much love to the family. And before we get to the injury report coming into this week, the mid-week injury report, let's listen what Terron Armstead is saying about not overlooking the talented Falcons in Week 10. Here's Big T.
How did you handle the bye week? What did you do to relax and get away?
Just relax, chill with the kids. My twins had their 7th birthday on the 30th, so had a little party for them, movies, all that good stuff.
Now, flipping that switch to get back to the field this week, was it pretty easy?
Man, we jumped in head first today. Tough practice, you ask me. We got after it for sure. We hit the ground running. Great to be back. we competed at a high level today.
You know, were you guys pretty anxious to get back after being out of the week, even though you were on a pretty good roll, but the bumps and bruises you want to heal?
Yeah, for sure. We needed the bye week for a lot of reasons, the healing and all that. But me personally, I was ready to get back. I was anxious, taking pass sets in the house at Walmart, just not unconsciously, like just excited. Just want us to get back to it and get back rolling.
As far as the team you're facing this week, how much is it hard not to pay attention to the record and just the talent that they have?
I think it's most important not to pay attention to the record. Understand the team that we play twice a year. We have great battles against. Talented, extremely talented team, for sure, in the NFL organization. So we cannot look at the record or our record at all either. We got to go out there and win Sunday.
Is it knock on wood so far for how you're doing physically, would you say?
No. Just more knowledge, understanding of the body and recovery, and some things being fortunate, of course, but just focusing on playing and just try to help the team win.
That's messed up how that reporter hit Terron Armstead with that. Is it knock on wood that you actually healthy? But you know what? That's not messed up, because that sounds like some shit I would ask them. Hey Terron, is it knock on wood that you healthy? Because you always hurt, right? You ain't played a whole season in 6 years, right? Damn, man. Do you give half your paycheck or at least a quarter of your paycheck to Andrews Pete, who always fills in for you? What do you think about that? Big ups to that reporter, man, for asking that question, man. Is it knock on wood that you ain't hurt? Oh, man. I love it, man. But big ups to Terron Armstead, man, who actually, is playing the bulk of these games. Now, every now and again, he stepped out. He had a little injury, a little flub, and he had to come out, but he went back in. So I got to give big ups to the big man, Terron Armstead, who just was stinking it up over the past 6 or 7 years. Last 5 or 6 years, Terron hasn't played an entire season. But listen, man, he knows what type of year this is, and I got to get a big brother credit, man, for really, paying special attention to himself and doing whatever you got to do. Stop it. I don't know what the regimen is, but whatever it is, keep it up, because you're doing a hell of a job, bro, out there playing a lot of those snaps, and I just love it, man. Big ups to Terron Armstead, because remember when we came into the season, man, I was hard on Terron Armstead. I really was, and I was saying, man, we need somebody to get behind Terron Armstead. We need an offensive lineman, a reserve tackle. And remember, we had got the brother from McDonald 35, and then he went down with an injury. And then we had Cameron Tom went down with the injury. Then we had the other brother that they got from the other offensive lineman. He didn't pan out. They cut him. And then the only thing we had was guys like Ethan Greenidge and Will Clapp. And, we was like, oh, man, what's going on with the Saints line? But anyway, Will Clapp stepped up. He plays 3 positions. Plays damn near all the positions that you need him to do, and it's been fine. And of course, the backup for Terron Armstead is Andrews Pete. So I gotta give big credit, man, where credit's due to Andrews on that one, man. Big ups to Andrews Pete, man, for backing up Terron Armstead. But anyway, big ups to T, man. I'm just messing with you. But let's keep it going, family. Let's get into some of the news, man, dealing with the injury report for the middle of the week. Now, this is still the middle of the week. Now, it's just Wednesday. But, man, good news is practicing fully for the Saints. Of course, it's Drew Brees. We know about that. But Jared Cook is practicing fully, unrestricted, unprohibited. He's fully practicing. Jared Cook's ankles appears to be done, and so does Traquan Smith. So, somebody brought a bag of ankles, brand new ankles, over to the Saints camp. Jared Cooks and Traquan Smith bought them a couple of them, got some spares, and Jared Cook and Traquan Smith have practiced fully. There, Alvin Kamara, who's dealing with both knee and ankle issues. Josh Hill had a calf issue. Patrick Robinson still dealing with a hamstring. We're limited, so you still have Alvin, Josh, and Patrick Robinson. We're limited. Hopefully it's not too much, because we got Jared back full price. We'd love to see Josh Hill. Remember, Dan Arnold is still on the active roster as well. So the Saints also, Taysom Hill could be circulated in as a spare tight end as well. Now, not practicing for the rotten, funky Atlanta Falcons were Edo Smith, dealing with a neck injury, and of the QB Matt Ryan, who said he will play in this game, according to Matt Ryan. I know Matt Ryan wouldn't miss it for the world. Even if you got to tape him together and staple him together with crazy glue, he going to play play this rivalry against the Saints. James Carpenter has a knee issue. Desmond Trufant with a toe. Jamon Brown has a foot issue. Wes Schweitzer has a concussion issue. Tight end Jaden Graham has a knee. We're all limited in practice for Wednesday. So that just goes to show you, family, what's going on. But good news is that Traquan Smith is practicing fully. So is Jared Cook. So we gain those guys back. And as the Saints start slowly rolling into form. Now, truth be told, Elvin Kamara is limited. So is Josh, like I read that report. But Elvin Kamara, man, it'll be 3 weeks that he hasn't played and he's still limited. Man, that's something else. And of course, they had several other reports, conflicting medical reports that was saying that he had a high ankle sprain. If he had a high ankle sprain, that requires some time to heal. And might I add, Latavius Murray is kicking ass. Dwayne Washington's looking good. We can afford to think about that for a second. We can afford to sit Elvin Kamara. Isn't that beautiful? For us to be able to put that series of words together and say, man, we can really sit this man. We can just sit Elvin Kamara, our best all-purpose running back, for another week to allow him to heal. That's amazing. That speaks to the depth that the Saints have. So big ups, man. I just continue to think that this is, man, it's just awesome, man. I can't even put words together to explain to you how just special this having that depth and having the ability to run Latavius Murray or Dwayne Washington or, put whoever, Taysom Hill in there for running back if you need them to. The Saints have a lot of depth, man, and I really think it's awesome. But anyway, let's go to our third and final interview. Here's the leader of the defense, Cam Jordan, on his thoughts on the bye week and setting his sight on the Falcons. Here's Cam.
How would you describe the off week? What
kind
of stuff did you do?
I was bored. Honestly, I actually stayed here for the first time. I stayed here with the fam. Kids were a little sick. We cleared that up. Went on a couple day nights. Just make sure the body was right, make sure the mind was clear. And then by Wednesday or Thursday, it all settled in. It had only been 2 days. I was like, all right, I'm ready for season, kick back in. And we had like 4 more days left. That's what happens when you don't travel. You just realize, all right. Yeah, I got trick-or-treating in. I had 2 costumes. I did, a Toy Story. We had Toy Story as a family unit. And then, I went to the basketball game that night. When is it?
I missed a couple calls.
I don't miss calls. My vision is perfect. Almost had to throw a flag. It was crazy. But then I remembered who I was.
You guys ready to get back into the routine this week and get ready for another opponent?
Absolutely. We have a bonus Monday. Just glad to be back. Glad to see everybody. Feel like a little kid going back to school again. Overly happy to be back at work. And then it's not like I went anywhere, so I was just overly happy everybody was coming back to work. But when you talk about what we want to do this week, I mean, we got a strong receiving core coming in. I know Mo Sanu went over to the Pats. Already scored a touchdown. I watched a lot of football on Sunday. That normally doesn't happen. Mark Ingram went for $120. Anyways, the Atlanta game. So you have Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones. You've got Matt Ryan, who's putting up amazing numbers this year. Devontae Freeman is healthy, and that makes him dangerous by far. Plus, it's an in-season rivalry game, and all of our rivalry games, all of our NFC South games are a battle. You play somebody twice a year, you know them year in, year out, what they're going to bring to the table. So it's going to be on us to try and make them one-dimensional if possible.
Cam, you guys would maybe be in don't eat the cheese reminder territory, but is there something locked in about
it's
this
like
team?
National Hate Week this week. Ain't no don't eat the cheese. Look, at the end of the day, they have extremely talented players. You've got your tight end who's playing at a high level. You talk about what Julio is able to do year in, year out, what he's able to do this season, just the catches that he's made. You talk about Ridley as he's progressing as a receiver, but being able to run all the routes. And then you talk about, their offensive line. You have Alex Mack. You can do a lot of things, go Bears.
But just in general, your focus on how, some people thought you guys might have a hangover coming into the season. Some people thought Brees' injury might knock you down. Is there some sort of a...
It sounds like outside opinions.
Permanent motivation?
Doesn't really matter to us inside the building.
What's...
Inside opinions don't matter.
Yeah, the motivation
only
being
inside
locked
opinions
in
matter.
and you guys sort
yes.
of, steamrolling through.
Yeah, when you talk about what it takes to go through a season, it's 16 games. It's not about, the first game. It's not about outside opinions. At the end of the day, it's about what these 53 men on the team can do on the field. And we take this bye week, and I said, last week, I don't want the bye week. I like the way we're playing. I like our team camaraderie. I like how everybody's gelled together in this locker room and how we've taken the field. So a week lets guys get healthy. A week lets guys get refreshed. And I hope we have the same mental sharpness coming in Wednesday.
That's Cam, fam. Cam Jordan, man. Chiming in, man. Dude's a character, man. Got much love for Cam as he breaking down, talking about the upcoming matchup against the Falcons. Of course, Cam's a pro. Gave the Falcons no poster board material. Even gave him some credit, even though we know we hate the Falcons. At the end of the day, man, the Saints have to handle it this way, man. We got to handle business against the Falcons. Tough rivalry game. We'll preview that game coming up Sunday with the stats, facts, breakdown, have interviews, the whole shebang-a-bang. But, man, gotta love it, man. Gotta love how Cam bringing it, man. And the Saints, and I gotta give big credit to Sean Payton, how he handled it, too, during this bye week. Told his people to get lost. Go out, go have fun, then report back to camp. I love that. I love how Sean allowed the guys to air their brains out to go visit family members and then come back and get ready for the second half of the season. I mean, it was perfect how this bye happened. Sometimes we had the stupid byes when it was week 5. They were either too early or too late. This bye came perfectly. It situated itself right in the center of the season, broke it perfectly, and it just was awesome. Everything is working the way it's supposed to work. Really nice, man. I just love it, man. Anyway, let's get back into some of the live chat in the family as we go. Once again, thank the family members for joining us on the show. Today, live show number 49. Man, just love talking to the family. But anyway, let's get back into the rest of the chat. Lori Heckler, what's up, Lori? She says, I love the Saints. Good to see you, Lori, in the live chat. Welcome. If you're not a subscriber, please feel free to subscribe, Lori. Hello to you. Tori says, I'm overlooking the Falcons. I'm sorry. Caution says, gotta drink the water, fam. Tori says, what's your thoughts on Will Lutz missing these field goals as of late? I'm not really concerned about it, to be honest with you, Tori, and I'll tell you why. Will Lutz is a professional. He's one of the 2 top best kickers in his league. At one time, Tucker of Baltimore was considered the best kicker in the league, period. One of the best kickers, far above most, some said. Will Lutz competed with this man when he was with Baltimore, and Tucker beat him out, and Harbaugh calls Sean and said, you need a kicker, I got somebody for you. So we need to big up Jim Harbaugh every chance we get. But that's how we end up getting Will Lutz. The Saints brought him in. He's been here ever since. He's been here ever since. So I think Will Lutz will be fine. He missed 3 kicks in 2 games. Listen, he had a flub, but I'd rather him have these flubs right now and work out his mental matrix right now than as you're getting close to the playoffs or in the playoffs. This is what the season going through these bumps and bruises are. We can afford to have flubs when you're sitting up there 7-1, fam. You get me? We're not, and that's the thing. I've said this before, and the family members know I've said this before, is that we're not even playing our best football. We're not even playing the best football, and we stumping and we kicking ass and we taking names and all this kind of stuff, but we're not playing our best football. We're playing a higher grade of football, don't get me wrong, but the Saints, when they hitting on all cylinders, you'll really see some stuff. So I'm not really concerned that much, Tori, on Will missing these field goals. You know why? Because Will Lutz is a professional. He's one of the best kickers in the NFL. He's one of the highest paid kickers in the NFL, and he's paid that way because he is the truth. He will get this stuff together. Trust me on that. Guess who says, who that to you? Guess who says, sit Kamara. You say still blowout. Believe that. Thank you. Guess who says the GOAT Breeze is back? No games. I feel you, baby. Thank you that for that comment there. Guess who? Derek says Armstead invested a grip on his off-season training. I watched an interview where he said he had went overseas and also did some holistic healing. He must have went over there and hollered at Saban, man. But anyway, a lot of them people, a lot of the athletes go overseas to get the holistic training. They don't want to really do most of the laboratory type stuff that they do, if you get my drift. But it's good to see, and you're seeing less injuries to him, getting his weight under control, and all that kind of stuff. And big ups to Terron Armstead for doing that, spending the money on his body because that's how he make his money. Big ups to Terron Armstead because he got to get tired of it too. He got to get tired of it like we getting tired of it, seeing them getting banged up and bruised and not completing the whole season. We want to see the man healthy and do the best he can do. That's what we want from our players. That's what we expect. So big ups to Terron Armstead for taking it serious, man, to be honest with you, and spending the money to do what he need to do. Thank you for that information, Derek. Soldier for God says, I'll arrest AK-41 until he's 100% Murray running the ball good. That's right, man. I agree with you, Soldier for God 77. Murray can handle it, man. He can handle the load against the ball from the Atlanta Falcons. He can be able to run it until AK is ready. We can slowly acclimate AK into the matrix if when he's ready. Who that to you, Neville? I see you, baby. Who that to you? Guess who? Donation. Thank you. Guess who for your donation, family. Appreciate you. Thank you. Who that to you? And we'll make sure we put a good use here at the platform, as the family know we would. So thank you, family. Who that Saints have to stop? Who the Saints have to stop for 49ers game? Who the Saints have to stop? Well, Jimmy Garoppolo is a good quarterback. Okay, he's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. Garoppolo is a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. Far too often people throw great out there, throw it at players that are really either good or below good. Garoppolo is a good quarterback. The running game for the 49ers is really the strength of the team, offensively speaking. They're subpar as far as the wide receivers go. Their best wide receiver is a tight end named Kittles. So, and they just got Emmanuel Sanders. He's not totally 100% acclimated into the San Francisco 49ers system. So if I was to say who we have to stop on the 49ers, I would say that we should stop them from running the ball, turn them into a one-dimensional team, and I like our odds with Garoppolo throwing against our secondary. I'm just going to keep it real with you. You have to take the 49ers running the game away from them because they can run the damn ball out there. They got a pretty decent offensive line, and I would say turn them one-dimensionally, stop them from running, force Garoppolo to beat him, and put that blitz on him. He got a fragile body. He gets hurt. He can't take a lot of punishment. That's been the thing against Jimmy G. But Saints going to get to him, knock him around, beat him up, and they're going to have problems. He cannot take that punishment, Jim. And I think that's what the Saints need to do to have a chance against the 49ers in that game. Thank you. Guess who? Derek says, Lori, welcome to the Sports Coma family. Who that? Thank you, Derek, for that. Neville says, Big Q, ask the family what they think about the name for the defense, Crescent City Connection. You heard Neville. What y'all think about it, family? Neville wants to know, what do you guys think about the name for the Saints called the Crescent City Connection, named after our bridges, the two Mississippi River bridges that aligns itself from the East Coast, from the West Bank to the East Bank. Very iconic bridges. Crescent City Connection, I love it. I've heard people say the Reborn Dome Patrol and all this kind of stuff. The Saints have not really had that moniker name like we had the Legion of Boom and one of those cool nicknames or monikers. We need to find out something for that. Soldier for God says, welcome to the family. Thank you. Soldier says, Neville, I like that name. Scoob says, good old Dr. Sabi. Sorry he's gone. Yep, the old Sabi, man, helped a lot of people. Lisa, what's her name? Lopez, Left Eye, all that. Robert Clark says, Falcon Special Teams. Tori says, Deontay Harris has been quiet. I believe he has more to contribute, no doubt about it. Tori, you know my stance on that. They have to open up the lanes, the routes for him to run. It's like I said, the worst part of the Saints team that I really wish that they would change is the kick return and punt return aspects of the team, special teams wise. You know, I'm not talking about Will Lutz. We're not talking about Thomas Morstead. I'm talking about the part where they get the ball on kick returns and punt returns. They are incredibly, just pardon my French, incredibly shitty in opening up routes and lanes for Deontay Harris to run through. He just needs a slither of light to get to the next level to take off. If they can do that better, you would really see something impressive with the Saints, because they have this guy is special as a return man. He's super special. We just need to open up the routes. Far too often he gets tackled by 2 or 3 special teams defenders. Where the hell are the Saints blockers at? You know, where are the hell are the blockers? They have to do a better job or get them guys out of there and find somebody that know what the hell they're doing. We can't have that going into the season. I expect that to happen because we got a new special teams coordinator and they still figuring out how to do it. But, man, they've been pathetic doing that for years, man, for years. And we really starting to see the guy try to whip that and say. So big ups to Coach Darren Rizzi, the special teams coach, as he tried to get those wrinkles ironed out, man. We need to really get that together. Eddie Dixon, who that to you, baby? Good to see you. Guess who says right? Javier says Chauncey's one of them players with a motor that doesn't stop. He got a Cam Jordan going on there. You know, get it, Cam Jordan, Cam engine. Anyway. Anyway, but Chauncey's one of them dudes, man, that you're absolutely right. He got a non-stop motor. He's just excited. He jumps around. He make plays. I mean, the guy's a natural out there. Nothing's too big for him. He's not nervous or, it's just like, I'm ready. And I just love that about him. So appreciate that, Javier. Derek says, forgive me, Big Q. I forgot to apologize for beating you in fantasy football. Yeah. See, you know what, Derek? Big ups to you, fam. You did get the win in fantasy football. I must say, family. Yes, you did. That was big ups to you, fam. And you're doing good in the fantasy football league. Once again, I want to give a shout out to all of the family members that's participating in the first annual Sports Coma Fantasy Football League. The winner gets $150. The runner-up gets $50 at the end of the year, depending on who won. But yeah, Derek, that was a good game, brother. My people ain't show up to play. Yours did. Big ups to you, brother. I think I get another shot at you later on, brother. So watch out. But congratulations, fam. And like I said, big ups and thank you to all other 19 members that played in the fantasy league. We got a 20-team fantasy league, man. And, man, it's bonkers, man. I tell you what, it's bonkers. But it's fun as hell, man. Appreciate the family for being there. Eddie Dixon says, I believe we should play AK as our slot and LM as a main back and keep both of them on the field. What do you think, Big Q? Man, to play AK in the slot and Latavius Murray as the main back, that'll be awesome. It would, and another thing is, it would solve a quandary about having a slot man because you can utilize Alvin Kamara in that capacity. But, like I say, he would ultimately become your best slot man because of his receiver set, his skill set. Once he's healthy, that'll be awesome to kind of, see him in that position. And I think it's fascinating. I think it'll be awesome. But do you know what, though, that's even special, Eddie, is the fact that for the first time since not having Mark Ingram here, we'll be able to see a back like Latavius Murray and Alvin Kamara finally play together once Alvin gets 100% accurate. I mean, once he gets 100%, healthy again. So my thought process is, man, what would it look like? Do we have a thunder and lightning? Could it be like that? Could it be like what the Giants did? You know what I'm saying, family, some time ago when they had the true thunder and lightning combination. You had Brandon Jacobs and Tiki Barber. Could we have something like that? Could it possibly look like that? You know what I'm saying? Now, if we had, Mark Ingram, he was doing his thing with Alvin Kamara and all this kind of stuff. To be honest with you, Mark ran with power and at times he could put on that extra gear. But so did Alvin Kamara. People thinking Alvin's a small dude. Alvin, the Lord, put his shoulder down on you and hit you too. He can run around you or through you if you need to. The dude's really powerful. You got big defensive linemen that grab him and can't pull him down. Linebackers, big defensive, big DBs can't pull him down. He turning and twisting out of tackles, and the dude's really deceptively powerful. And if you put them about, close together, you'd be thinking that, Mark was like, he was about 217 or something. And then Elvin's 210, 212. The weight between the two weren't that far apart, as opposed you look at what Latavius Murray is. Latavius is 230 plus at 6'3", 6'4", and you know what Elvin is. But could we really have that special thunder and lightning combination that they used, that the Giants used, that helped them win the Super Bowl back in the day? Could the Saints offense look like that but better? That's what I'm interested to see. How can Sean Payton implement both Latavius Murray and Alvin Kamara in the same backfield at the same time? You don't know who's going to get the ball. You know what I'm saying? It might hit you with if it's a 3rd and 1, they might cycle Elvin in and give him the ball, or he might turn it. I mean, all kind of stuff can go down. You just don't know, you know? But that's what I want to ask the family members. Let me ask the family, because y'all got great imaginations. What does it look like? What do you think it'll look like with Latavius Murray getting his full snappage? And once Elvin Kamara gets healthy, what would it look like, in your opinion, going forward, the Saints offense having Latavius Murray and Elvin Kamara out there? That would be special. Eddie, I appreciate you drawing that out there, fam, but I love it, man. The slot position, having Elvin in the slot, I can see Sean doing that, and having Latavius back there, the lone back or whatever. I mean, that'll be really fire, man. I'm thinking Sean Payton will start utilizing a lot of those plays, because Latavius Murray has gained his respect. And I hope Sean Payton doesn't go into relapse and just start feeding the ball irresponsibly to Elvin Kamara like he was doing early in the season without utilizing Latavius Murray. That'll be a shame. Hopefully he'll remember what Latavius did over these last 2 weeks. And of course, this game against Atlanta, if Elvin is unable to go, limited and it's Wednesday, of course, it could change going into Thursday and Friday. It could change. But thank you for that. That's my thoughts on it. Tori says, your point about our special team, your own point about our special team blocker. Thank you, Tori. That was the thing we talked about. Remember, nobody talks about that. They're gonna talk when you talk about the special teams, is covered in a veneer of what Morstead, who's a Hall of Famer in my book, who is the best punter in the history of the NFL. That's what I think Thomas Morstead is. Thomas Morstead will not only, if Thomas Morstead has a hand for a foot. What I mean by that, he is so accurate with putting the ball down inside of your 20, your 10, and your 5 is almost like he's throwing it down there. It's almost, and then the guy is so good that he is I call him a master punter. And what I mean by that is he'll kick the ball and put backspin on it. So when it hits down around the 5, it'll backspin just enough into the hands of the special teams player to down it within the 5 of the opposing team's 5. You get me? That's a master punter. That's what Thomas Morstead is. Plus, he ain't afraid to make a tackle. Thomas Morstead will lay you out too now. The dude is really tough. Like I said, he's a master punter. Now, looking at the kicker situation, Will Lutz, we finally got that solved. We got Will Lutz. Will Lutz is one of the highest paid kickers in the NFL. He's one of the top 3 best kickers in the NFL, hands down. He missed 3 kicks within the last 2 days. I know people kind of excited about that. They're kind of upset and they're kind of leery about that. But rest assured that this guy is an excellent kicker. He will get it together. He got mental toughness up there. And to be a kicker in NFL, you got to have that mental toughness. And this guy, Will Lutz, is up there, man, bar none. Now, when you get from up under and away from Will Lutz and Morstead being 2 of the top 2 special teams players in the game, and then you look at all other players we got, like Justin Hardy, and we had Chris Banjo, we got JT Gray, and all our special teams aces, and then you keep going further down, then you get to the part where we kick return and punt return, which means we can't even, we suck at it. We let their players get back there and, run around and disrupt the route, force him from going from right to left. We're not dictating the routes. We need to be able to open up just the route, just enough so Deontay Harris can find that seam and get it and go. Now, he might get tackled, but he'll get tackled past the 45, closer to midfield, which sets Drew Brees up on the short field. That's how spectacular this could be for the Saints if they can get it mastered. Now, can they get it mastered is the question, and the answer to that question is hell yeah, they could, because Dan Rizzi, who operated a similar system in Miami, was an excellent special teams coach out there. If he can do it out there in Miami and bring that skill set here to New Orleans, I think it was excellent. Big ups to Sean Payton. And I know Jeff Ireland had something to do with it because that guy was out there when Jeff Ireland was out there. So Jeff Ireland continues to pay dividends at bringing coaches and players to the Saints and upgrading them in every possible manner. So, I mean, they're going to figure it out. It just takes a little time. It just gets frustrating. I don't want to see the man get hurt. I want Deontay Harris, just give him the room. We just need to block a little bit better. And if we can't get them guys out there and get somebody in there to know what the hell they're doing, come on now. But thanks for your question there, Tori. For your comment there, fam. Annie Clark, who that to you, Annie? Good to see you. Great channel. Thank you, Annie. Annie gave us a donation. Thank you, Annie. Appreciate you. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Annie, welcome to the family, baby. Who that to you? Thank you for your donation, for your gift. Thank you, family. Tori says, did Mark Ingram get tired of eating gumbo? No, he didn't get tired of eating gumbo. But, you know, I don't think anybody get tired of eating gumbo. But, man, Mark Ingram, it was just time for him to go, man. They had all that season he was here. And then you had every reason to bring him back. The greatest tandem, running back tandem in the history in the NFL was Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram together. They were like big brother, little brother. There was perfect synergy, harmony between them. They didn't mind giving each other snaps up, and they worked perfectly together. They knew what each other was going to do. They lifted each other up. It was perfect. The only thing that didn't make sense was the money. At the end of the day, the Saints just could not get a deal worked out for Mark Ingram, and basically what it broke down to between Latavius Murray and Mark Ingram was $1 million. Don't sound like a lot. If you're a working person, it's a lot of money. Before an NFL person, $1 million. Well, upper echelon players, $1 million is really not that much money when they fanning out billions of dollars, just throwing it around, almost like they print the stuff. But that's the thing. That was a separation between the two. They couldn't get it done, and man, that's a sad deal. But at the end, Mark Ingram having a good time in Baltimore. Big ups to him. You heard Cam say he ran for $127 this past week. But we got Latavius down here carrying the load while Elvin is hurt, man. And, I mean, to be honest with you, Baltimore's happy with what they got. We happy with what we got. So big ups to Mark. I wish him much luck, except when he plays us. Big ups to Tori. Thank you for the question. Derek said, Andy Clark, thanks for the donation and support. Thank you, Derek. Guess who says fire? Thank you. Guess who? Drew goddamn Brees says Latavius is back with Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill running routes, man. Let me tell you something, family. Think about this, fam. All of the weapons the Saints offense exhibits, everything. Think about it. Drew Brees is there. Behind him is Latavius Murray, who's right now, Alvin Kamara is kind of banged up. You got those guys, right? Taysom Hill also can be a running back to kind of be behind them. You look at the offensive line, best line in pro football. When they're healthy, the best line, shutting down all of your top pass rushers in the league. Aaron Donald, J.J. Watt, Terrell Suggs, Chandler Jones, the guy from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who I conveniently always forget his name, who leads, I think, the NFL with 9 sacks or whatever it is. Him. They got all the other guys that we played. D-Law, DeMarcus Lawrence from Dallas, he didn't do a damn thing. And so on and so forth. All these players, Jadeveon Clowney, all these guys that we ran against, all these supreme pass rushers, not one apricot against the Saints offensive line. All we do is kick ass. All we do is shut your best pass rushers down. Now, once I move away from that, look at the tight end. You got Jared Cook, who's coming back healthy. His words were he's looking at the second half of the season as a rebirth period to show off, to build upon. That's excellent because he is fresh. He's missed the last 2 games or so. He has three weeks he's been off. He's going to come in fresh, ready to contribute with a new mindset. And the pressure's off for Jared Cook, to be honest with you. With the Saints having a 7-1 record, the pressure's off on a lot of players to produce. Now they can just play comfortable. Now they can play their game. Now you look behind him, you got Josh Hill, who's balling out of control, looking good. Taysom, we can feel in at the tight end position as well. And then you look at the wide receiver play. Mike Thomas, 75 catches right now at the middle of the season. This guy has 75 catches. He's on par for over 100. You know, if he continues what he's doing, he can have over 140-something receptions before the year end. And it's just special. Ted Ginn Jr. hasn't been throwing that a lot. Utilize Ted Ginn a little bit more to taking off the top. You're looking at Dez coming in. Traquan Smith's coming back with a new revigorate mentality. So we have these special players, man. I mean, really real. This offense is something excellent. And then midway part of the season, you getting some of your best players back at the midway part, and they're revigorated. They're ready to go into the second half of the season and push it forward. And guess what? The second half of the season schedule is a lot softer than the first half. The first half was a gauntlet. The second half is not so much. You have a bunch of division rival games against subpar competition. We're not going to take them for granted, mind you, with 2 difficult matchups coming up with the Indianapolis Colts, who I never take for granted, and the San Francisco 49ers, who people saying that's going to be for the NFC #1 seed. Then you span a little further down, and then we got back-end games against the Tennessee Titans and the Carolina Panthers going to their buildings. Now, I'm inclined to think with those games, one of those games, or maybe both of those games, or who knows, the Saints could suffer losses with those games because they'll have so many wins, they won't probably need to play their starters in one of those games, and we'll probably end up with a game like we played against the Carolina Panthers, something like that. That's the only way the Saints will lose, if they so ahead of it that they rest their starters going into the playoffs, because we do that from time to time. We've done that from time to time. But it's exciting, man, to see what we are doing with all of those weapons as the family's just rolling them out, like what Drew goddamn Brees just said. Latavius and Elvin Kamara and Taysom running. Man, come on. All those guys, that's special. Latavius Murray running over people, Elvin Kamara running around people, and Taysom Hill could do either or. I mean, that's just special all over the place. Will Musgrove says, put AK, LM, and Hill on the field at the same time. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? Could you imagine Kamara, Latavius Murray, and Taysom Hill on it? What are you going to do? What are you going to do, defensive coordinator? What are you going to do with all that going on at the same time? Then sprinkle a little Dez Bryant in the mixture. This, you talking about gumbo? This is football gumbo right here. This is what the hell I'm talking about. Just get me pumped, man. Just get me pumped going into this next few games against our rivals, against Tampa Bay. Now listen, Tampa Bay is a team. We know about Atlanta. We know about Carolina. Carolina is the only other winning team in the NFC South we have to deal with. Of course, we know how we need to beat that team. We do exactly the same thing we did with Minshew, and stop the running game. We beat them. Bottom line. Look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers is an enigma. They're a very unpredictable team because they don't know who they want to be. One moment they beating the Rams 55 to whatever, and then the next moment they falling through the floor against a team they know they should have beat. They're an enigma. So we have to approach each game, as its own entity. And I'm telling you, man, this is just really special. I just love it, man. And I'm feeling that way because I'm telling you, just like the family said earlier, the Saints won their last Super Bowl in Miami. This Super Bowl this year is in Miami. The Saints know that like we know that. This team is deeper than any other team any other Saints team ever. This is the deepest team and probably one of the most. I'm not saying that that the rest of these people didn't have intestinal fortitude, but what other team and Saints history that dealt with the type of crap that we dealt with and keep winning games? That was it. The only other measure that I would say that could have happened that didn't happen is, let's say, for instance, when they had Bounty Gate and they took the coaches off and took us the draft picks. Imagine instead of going 8-8 and 7-9, the Saints won 10 games each of those seasons. If that was to occur and we went on deep into a deep playoff run, that would have been special because that shows something else. But that didn't happen. What happened to the Saints this year is you lost Breeze, who most people say you can't win without him. Stephen A said that. You won. You lost Elvin Kamara for 2 weeks. You still kicked ass. You lost Jared Cook, your top tight end, who you said you needed for a couple weeks. You still won. PJ was playing good. You had questions at the nickel. Patrick Robinson went down. Remember, all this happened during that span. Patrick Robinson went down with a hamstring. You said, okay, we got a veteran behind PJ. So if PJ got to be out, he's suspended, then we could put Patrick Robinson in that, man. We good. Instead, what happened, Patrick, he go up in there and start pulling on his hamstring. He get hurt. He's still hurt. But then here come the rookie, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who's really a safety. You put him in a nickel position, what'd he do? The last couple of games was second, third, or either third or fourth in tackles on the team, which means when you put him in there, he goes to make the play. I mean, that's special. That is special. That's what I'm saying. This team, I put this team so high on the Saints list of great teams because of all of the trials and tribulations they're going through. And one of the biggest things to add to that family is the fact that the Saints are beating these teams and beating the stinky, funky, corrupt referees with them. Every game you're getting at least a touchdown pulled off the board. I keep saying it because it's the truth. You go back and look at it. Every game you get a touchdown pulled off the board and you still beating these teams. So not only if you slapping the dirty referees, which are controlled and ran by Goodell, the demon, all that's happening and you know he don't like you. The NFL doesn't like you. And they run their referees at you to stop you, even when you're supposed to get home cooking. And remember, I'm not a fan of home cooking, but even when they're supposed to be home cooking, the opposing teams get more calls than you do, and to be in their favor. Despite all of that disagreeableness, the Saints are 7-1 and continue to kick dirt in the face of the referees and the teams that they beaten. Come on. That says a lot, because I have not known a team in the history of the NFL that has dealt with this level of adversity. I'm just saying, maybe one team I can give credit to say that probably had a tougher route is the Buffalo Bills, who went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost every last one of them. That to me is like unbelievable that you lost 4 straight Super Bowls. They went 4 years in a row, lost every one of them, and 2 of them which they lost to the same team. Now that would put as far as adversity, because it takes a mental perspective to go to 4 Super Bowls and to lose 3 in a row and still go with the mindset I'm gonna win the 4th and then lose that one too. I mean, that's something special. But outside of that, I'm saying the Saints, man, and Dez know it. Drew knows it. When he was sitting out, he's like, man, I got to get back in there. This is a year. And they all vibing off that energy. They know, like, you know who this year for. You know. I'm telling you, Look at that schedule and watch how the Saints knock them down like 10 pins. I'm telling you, it's coming, baby. I'm telling you, baby. I'm about to put Reverend Saint up in here, but he chilling. But anyway, let me keep it rolling through the comments, man. I'm just excited, man. Pardon my energy, family. But I'm pumped, family. You ain't gonna come up into the show and hear me sound all dead and shit. Like I'm like the Saints are 1-7 or something. No, I'm pumped because I like what I see. I know where this is going, and it's just exciting being on the ship, knowing where it's going to the destination, man. I say it's just lovely, man. Big ups. Okay, fam, let's keep it going. Tora says Thomas Morstead is so underrated. I remember when he joined the Saints, he was a staple since day one, along with Brees and Peyton. That's right, family. Tora, you're right. Remember, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be truthful with you. He was drafted out of SMU, out of Dallas. The Saints gave up 2 picks to move up to draft this dude, and he was like a 5th round pick or something like that. He was a 5th round selection. The Saints gave up 2 picks to move up, like maybe like a 7th and a 6th or a 5th and a 6th or whatever it was. I think he was a 5th round pick to move up to get Thomas Morstead, and I was upset. I was like, man, with all the needs they got, who gives up 2 draft picks to get a goddamn punter? Well, he knew what he was doing. That was the last punter he needed, and this guy has been riding down ever since. Ever since they drafted him, he's been special. Thomas Morstead, I always give big respect and big love to Thomas Morstead because he does the damn thing right, and he's awesome. That's all I got to say. He's awesome. Big ups to Thomas Morstead. Christian Smith, what up, Christian? He says, let Chauncey Gardner-Johnson keep starting spot and let PJ earn his way back. What you think, Q? I agree with your family. I say Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is a special cornerback. He earned that job. PJ is fine at the dime. There's nothing wrong with PJ playing a dime position. Ain't nothing wrong with being a cornerback on the Saints team and you're a dime back. Nothing wrong with it at all. But the future is Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And I'm excited to see what more he can do, and I'm pretty sure the rest of the Saints Nation is too. We know what P.J. Williams could do. He only got a 1-year contract left. Chauncey Gardner's in the first year of a rookie deal. This is the future versus the past. And in that scenario, the future will pass the hell up because Chauncey Gardner should keep his job. I'm put it to you like this, Kristen. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson came in. He wasn't just some placeholder. You get me? He just didn't come in and say, yeah, I'm going to just keep the seat warm until PJ comes back. No, he went in there with the mindset to take the goddamn position, and that's what he did. He put an impression on the fams. He put an impression on the coaching staff to let them know, listen, I'm ready for this. This is what I was made for, and this is what I'm going to do. And I think he should keep his job. So I agree with you, Christian. Thank you for that comment, fam. Forever Absolute Reactions. Who that to you? He said, I haven't eaten gumbo in a long time. I'll have to save myself for New Orleans. I stay in Baton Rouge. You hop, skip, and jump, fam. But truth be told, they got a lot of great places in between New Orleans going into Baton Rouge. Got some great food too, man. But it's between like the river parishes and between Baton Rouge going into New Orleans, man, you'll find some really great food all in between there because people have fanned all the way out. And so you're going to find great cuisine all up in there, bro. I done been to some really nice places all up in there with great food all up in there. So, family, I'm telling you, just look around. You're going to find it. Thank you. Till, who that? Till. He said, who that? Q in the sports coma. Good to see your family. Big ups to you. Who that to your fam? Forever Absolute Reaction said, we just need a second wide receiver, and the Saints have a dynasty until Drew Brees retires. I hear you what you're saying, Forever. We covered this on the previous show. We had Mr. Washington called in. I had 5 on there. We was talking about the fact that the Saints, what if, I had the little deal I went through, and I pretended like I was Ted Ginn Jr., and I was like, why people keep asking for a number 2 wide receiver? I'm the number 2 wide receiver. Why nobody want? And then I went in the spiel as like I was Ted Ginn, how he thinking in his head, but he can't say it to people, what he's thinking. And I was like, okay, I'm Ted Ginn Jr. This is how I'm thinking. Why everybody looking for a number 2 wide receiver? I'm fast. I'm still one of the fastest dudes on this team. I catch the ball. I said in the game I could have had 3 touchdowns, had a quarterback named Teddy Bridgewater put the ball where he's supposed to. If he'd have thrown it ahead of me as opposed to behind me, I would have had a 2 touchdown game. I'd had, if they would throw me the ball a little bit more. Remember, Teddy Bridgewater wasn't cycling through all his progressions. He would look at Mike Thomas. Sometimes he would stare Mike down and throw the ball to Mike. Sometimes Mike will make you lazy. Like when Jimmy Graham was here, Jimmy Graham would make Drew lazy. Instead of Drew going through his progression, he would just throw the ball to Jimmy Graham, triple covered, and he'd go up and get it. So what I'm saying is we got to fan out. We got to look, and let's respect Ted again. Maybe if the Saints can, and this is just food for thought, maybe if the Saints better utilize the weapons around Mike Thomas, meaning that they go to these players, cycle through and throw more to Ted again, you might not feel that way. And I think that's a part of why the Saints didn't make a move to get Robbie Anderson or a Devontae Parker or none of these type, or AJ Green, is the fact that they have confidence in Teddy Ginn and they need to better utilize the weapons they have. That's all I'm saying. But Drew Brees in there means that they can cycle through. They go through the progressions to find the right man. Remember, if they're going to double Michael Thomas, somebody else is going to be open, whether that's Jared Cook, whether that's Ted again. Remember, Ted had a 7-catch game early in the year. He can go and do that again if they're going to double or triple down Mike Thomas. He can stretch the field. If you could deliver the ball out to him on time, ahead of him, like you're supposed to, you can get better usage out of Ted Ginn Jr. I'm telling you. If you get a second number 2 wide receiver, let's say you were able to get AJ Green, but if they're not throwing the ball at AJ Green, I mean, Ted Ginn's a guy. He's a good compliment to Mike Thomas because he's a speed guy that stretches the defense. So if you can lay the ball out to him ahead of him, he can make things happen. There was several times Ted Ginn had an opportunity, had deep plays, had the guy beat, and the ball didn't go to him. So we need to better utilize the weapons we have now before we look to try to get other higher priced weapons. Just saying, what I'm saying? Just food for thought, family. But thank you for your comment there. Forever Absolute. Appreciate you. Pablo, what up, fam? He said, Dez said 2 weeks. Sorry, I'm late, fam. Yeah, we covered that earlier, Pablo. But yeah, Dez did say 2 weeks, and that puts him, a little later on in November. But a little after the time when the Saints signed him, but guess what? Like if you was a detective, you seen all of the indicators are lined up. The Saints have the money ready for him. They have the spot ready for him because they released Ken Crawley before you walk it. So the Saints ready for Dez Bryant. Only thing Dez say, okay, I'm ready. Come on up here. Sign this contract for a couple million, 1 year, prove a deal. We got number 88 waiting for you. I don't even think nobody wearing number 88. I think they still got his jersey waiting on him. So like I said, family, he's coming. He already told you in 2 weeks. He let the people know because everybody been asking him that. And he gave you a definitive time. He said, in 2 weeks, I'll be ready. The man not going to come and put on a jersey for no team until he knows he's 100% healthy because he don't want to go through another rehabilitation process. That is mentally exhausting and draining to keep getting hurt and have to keep rehabbing. That is a drain, and he does not want to go through that process. And I understand that, so let's just be patient. He is coming. Appreciate it. Guess who says we the best? No doubt about it. Appreciate you. Guess who? Torres said Michael Thomas is catching balls at an alarming rate. Traquan Smith return could hurt MT historic season. Not so much. Not so much. I don't think so. Torah, this is a selfless offense, meaning Drew Brees will go to the open man. All that means is that you will have to work hard on you. See, Drew is gonna do he like this is the thing. Remember that year, maybe a couple years, 2 or 3 years ago, Drew had 4 receivers on the Saints that all had over 40 catches. Remember that year? And that's because Drew Brees will fan the ball out to the open man. So if you are underneath and you're making the plays or whatever, Drew will find you. That's the great thing that he knows. Now, Mike Thomas, why does Mike Thomas get the ball when he's doubled or triple team more so than a guy like Ted Ginn or anybody else? Why? Because Mike Thomas has earned, not only has he earned the respect of Drew Brees, but he's earned his respect because of his work ethic and the fact that he's a master route runner. Look at the film footage. Maybe I should start doing the family. Let me know. You know, I don't do film sessions because a lot of people do all that stuff, and I don't really. You know, I can do it. You know, and put my little spin on it. Y'all let me know if y'all interested in me doing stuff like that. But I'll tell you to look at the tape. You look at it. But if you want me to do a film session or something like that, I'll do it. Y'all just let me know. You know how we know. You know how we do. Just let me know, family, what y'all think about that. You know, but watch how Michael Thomas, when he comes off the line, his work is done within the first 5 yards between him and that wide receiver. When he comes off that line, and it depends on what that wide receiver is going to do. That wide receiver tries to jam him. He has these big old hands, and Mike Thomas is tough. He will grab you and throw you, like just sweep you out of the way and get into his route. He breaks down. When he gets in his route, he breaks down and he does like a misdirection, plant on his foot like he's going to turn it. I mean, he's a master route runner. That's how he beats the double team. He knows he's going to be doubled, and he has perfected the art of beating the double team. That's how he can get a guy like a top 10 cornerback like Patrick Peterson, who's guarding him, and he has 11 targets in the Arizona Cardinals game, and 11 targets. And he has 11 catches off 11 targets for over 100 yards and a touchdown. How does that happen? If you're doubling him, because he knows how to beat the double team. Drew Brees knows that too. So I'm saying is, when they start doubling and when they go into the triple team, Drew Brees gets Jared Cook back. He was already building a camaraderie with Jared Cook before the injury. That's going to look good. Taysom Hill is there as well. Ted Ginn Jr. is the deep threat. Drew will cycle through his progressions and find the right play. That's what Drew Brees does. That's why he's a Hall of Famer. So I don't think that anything will hurt Mike Thomas. I think Mike Thomas will only be empowered by his receiver core. I think he'll be empowered by Tre'Quan Smith, who incidentally was supposed to be the new Ted Ginn Jr. Remember that. The Saints drafted Tre'Quan Smith to replace Ted Ginn Jr. That was why he was brought in. He was brought in because of his speed and his size. He was supposed to complement. He was supposed to be. You're looking for a number 2, forever absolute. And the rest of the family, the number 2 was supposed to be Tre'Quan Smith. Did we forget that? But Tre'Quan had a series of injuries. He didn't look good in his first year, and he's trying to come back to remind people, listen, I was supposed to be the true complement to Mike Thomas. But Ted Ginn is still there. He's still the second best wide receiver on this team. You have to utilize him. You throw to him, let him take the top off and work, and watch how things change for the Saints. I'm telling you, they have a perfect mixture of talent there. You just got to utilize them. And Drew Brees is healthy. He'll find the right way to do it. So appreciate your fam. So Tori, I don't think it'll hurt Mike Thomas. I think Tre'Quan Smith's healthy and all this stuff will empower him, because what it does is it gives the Saints offense freedom and liberation. Drew can throw to whoever he wants when he wants, and that'll force the defensive personnel, the coordinator, to stop doubling Mike Thomas as much when he getting tore up by other people. Now they're gonna still double him because their mentality as well. Tre'Quan Smith went for 200 yards and 12 catches. I would let him beat me 8 weeks from Tuesday. Sooner or later, it gets old. Sooner or later, they're gonna have to pay attention to him. So that's what I'm saying. When he's empowered, and everybody, all those other wide receivers are empowered, that offense is wide open, and the Saints cannot be checked. The defensive coordinator don't know where they're going with the ball, and that is where it's at its most impactfulness. So thanks for that, Tori. Who that 504 boy? What up, fam? He said checking in with the fam. Who that to you? Guess who says they gonna choke? Okay, on no family. Scroll on me, keep it going. Derek says Sean Payton gave the players all, but I guarantee he was in the Cave brewing it up. Everything Big Q and the family saying in chat is going to happen in the second half of the season. Bank on it. Thank you, Derek. Larry, who that to you, Larry? Derek says, who that to the rest of the fam? Kelvin says, Patrick Robinson has been completely useless since he came back. Should have sent him back to the Eagles. Eagles ain't want him, Kelvin. They ain't want him. And trust me, if the Saints could find a way to get, I think they still believe in Patrick Robinson, though. They still believe in Patrick Robinson. I hope Patrick Robinson don't become the new Ken Crawley. That's all I'm saying. That's because he seemed like he's lost some confidence too. Let's hope he can get back on pace, because this might be a move for like later on in the playoff race. One you would rather have a veteran in that position than to have somebody like a Ken Crawley. I still like Patrick Robinson over Ken Crawley. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. Larry says, who that is hate week. Torres says, Bill Vinovich, the Saints Rams no call referee, is the NFL's best official. ESPN says that goes to show you how much they know, right? Verlin, who that to you? Who that family? What up, Q? To give the fam a laugh. I wish you could see all these putty tats up here jumping ship on scam fruiting. I don't think they know McCaffrey can do. No, McCaffrey can only do so much for so long. That's right. They're running McCaffrey in the ground, man. And, I think McCaffrey's awesome, man. Special player, man. But once you stop them from running the ball, force that rookie quarterback and knock them around a little bit. Now you got a good tight end up there and, a few decent wide receivers. But Carolina, man, a good defense would defeat Carolina. Like some of those losses show, man. You stop them from running the ball, they're going to have a problem. So it's good to see Glam Newton. I really was upset when Glam Newton went out, man. And a lot of the reports saying they're going to trade the man and all that kind of stuff. And, that's the NFL. One moment they hate you, they love you, and the next moment they hate you. See, that's the cold-blooded game, man. That's how fake some people are. But here in the Black and Gold Nation, we're going to ride with you. If you're on our side, we're going to ride with you. You might be going some ups and some downs, but we're going to ride with you. You still our boy. We're going to ride with you. No doubt about it. But you got them people out there going against Glam Newton like that. That's a shame, man. The dude did all that for him, took their ass to a Super Bowl, and then they up there doing that because he putting on, well, I don't agree with his fashion sense, But at the end of the day, the man done won more games. He done won games, a lot of games for them people out there, and decide, look how they treat them. So it's just cold-blooded game. Lionel, who that to you? Lionel. He says, our young wide receivers are gonna, our young wide receivers are gonna step it up. Just be patient, it's coming. Thank you, Lionel. Drew will find them. That's right. Javier says, Q, you think Julio going on the milk carton this week along with the other victims that went up against Marshawn? No doubt about it, man. It's a big matchup between Marshawn. He ready, man. Marshawn is on a different planet right now. And Julio Jones hasn't been playing his best ball, man. Julio ain't been his regular confident self lately. You know what I'm saying? Still a dangerous player, though. But Marshawn Lattimore gets up to play Julio Jones. I mean, he really does. JT, who that family says, are you ready for some football, Big Q? Man, I'm amped. It sounds like the game about to happen in the hour, man. That's how amped I am, man. Damn right. Who that to you, JT? Randy, who that to you, Randy? And the rest of the family. Rand says, Dez Bryant will be ready in 2 weeks. That's right, Randy. We went over that. Dez will be ready, man. The Saints been ready for over 2 weeks now. Damn near a month the Saints been ready. They've been cleared that money. And then they recently released Ken Crawley, so the spot's open for Dez to come back. 1 and 1 makes 2, right? Last time I checked, unless they changed the math, unless we dealing with Common Core math, where it probably means something else. But let's keep it commonsensical. I think the bottom line is that the Saints want Dez Bryant. There's a slot for Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant wants to come back to the Black and Gold. The door is open. The money gonna be right. The slot is open. I don't even, like I said, I don't think nobody even wearing his jersey number 88. They holding it. They ready for Dez, man, and so are we. Guess who says Green playing hurt? Larry Williams says, yeah, do film session. Okay, Larry says do film session. Okay, I hear you, Larry. Pablo says even when MT isn't open, he's open. You can't guard Mike. Pablo. Torres says, who are your top 5 Saints all time? Top 5 Saints all time. Don't be surprised, Torres, if I give you this list, that most of them are defenders. That they're defensive players. Okay. Best at my top 5 Saint. Of course, the top Saint to me is Ricky Jackson. Ricky Jackson, a Hall of Famer. He won a Super Bowl ring with the 49ers. He holds all of the Saints sack records. Ricky Jackson is Mr. New Orleans Saint. Ricky Jackson was I believe was the first Saints superstar. He was huge. I mean, at one time he was as big as Lawrence Taylor. And Lawrence Taylor, he was almost as productive as Lawrence Taylor in terms of his sacks. He was unstoppable. So Ricky Jackson is my top Saint, followed by, and this is just my personal reference. Ricky Jackson. Then of course the man himself, Drew Brees. How can I not put Drew up there? I couldn't put Drew past Ricky because what Ricky Jackson mean to the Black Gold organization. Drew makes his own stance in there, but I got Ricky Jackson followed by Drew Brees is my top Saint. The third favorite all-time Saint, I got to put him up there to me. I like Pat Swilling. Pat Swilling was special. He was another one of them dudes that kind of got along with Ricky. I could kind of slide him a little further down there in that chart. I got up there Willie Roaf, which I think Willie Roaf was probably the best offensive lineman the Saints ever drafted, and that's saying a lot because there was a lot of great ones. Willie Roaf is up there. And then I got to throw in guys like Deuce McAllister, man. Deuce McAllister was the man. He came out of Mississippi. He was the man there. He came into the Saints. The man was kick returning, punt returning, doing the wide receiver stuff, all that. Deuce McAllister was phenomenal when he first came here. Then he started having a series of leg issues and knee issues. And then he kind of gained a lot of weight and became a power back. He had that power age anyway, but he became a power back. So McAllister's up on that list as well. So I can keep going, but that's some of my top 5 right there. Tori, thanks for asking. Carlito, what's up, Carlito? It's been a while, fam. Who that to you? He said Dez is on the way. Yes, sir, he is on the way. We covered that in the show. It's been the family members started to chime in. We covered that, Carlito. Thank you, fam. Pablo says crazy to think the Saints picked P-Rob in the first round. That's different. That wasn't Jeff Ireland making the calls then. That was a different series, but they thought Patrick Robinson would be somebody. Came out of Florida State, was it? And the Saints thought he could be a shutdown cornerback for him, and Patrick Robinson, I knew out the gate, his second, third year that he wasn't going to be the kind of guy we wanted, because when you have a wide receiver talking mess to you, and the wide receiver talking mess to you, you just looking at him and you ain't saying nothing. You just, no. If imagine a guy talking mess to Marshawn Lattimore, you think Marshawn Lattimore going to sit up there and let him talk mess to him? No, man, we just knew he wasn't going to be all that. The best you could hope for with Patrick Robinson would he would have been a decent nickelback, and that's what he was. So I'm saying Patrick Robinson, or P-Rob, I think he can contribute to this year's version of the Saints once he gets healthy. I think he'll provide the depth. But I think he having some confidence issues, and that happens, man. When you're injured, you don't play, and they spending all this money on him. And we really haven't been going in on Patrick Robinson. We really could be going in on Patrick Robinson because he making $20 million as a dime back. That's ridiculous. We could really be going in on him, but we just leaving him alone because the Saints are winning. Ain't no reason to pile in on him if the Saints are winning. But boy, if it was the other way around, he'd be catching it right now. But yeah, that's there you go, Pablo. Thank you for that. William says, who on the D-line is going to get the most sacks for the season, William? Or what you talking about, for the game against the Falcons for the season? If it's on the season, it's Cam Jordan. Cam has 8 of them right now, and the closest guy to him is Davenport and Trey Hendrickson. They both got 3 apiece. That's not saying Davenport can go off and have a double-digit sack game, but Cam Jordan should reach at least 13, 14 sacks this year. I said he should have anything north of 15. It's time for Cam to have those big sack years where he had 14, 15, 16 sacks. He's back there too much to not get that many sacks. He's always back there. Cam got to get up there to like the 15, 16 sack range. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, William. Verlin says, Q, you're right on our O is at its best with various receiving threats and Brees spreading the ball out, and that's so true. Brees did get hung up on force feeding Graham and Sproles. That's right, family. I calls it as I see it, bro. I love my players, but I'm be honest with you, Drew got real lazy with Graham. Graham would be triple covered in the end zone, and Drew would just throw it up there. And Jimmy was so good at going up and catching it at the highest points and ripping the ball away that Drew knew that if he threw it up there, Jimmy was gonna go get it, and that's what he did. And I was like, man, damn, man. Drew kind of getting lazy. He ain't cycling through his progression. So when Jimmy Graham got shipped out of here, that forced Drew to go back to looking for his people. I was like, yeah, man, now we back to business. Now we back to having 4 or 5 wide receivers catching the ball and stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. So Big ups for your comment, fam. Pablo says, I'm actually excited to see Traquan back. I felt like he was primed to break out. Those high ankle sprains can take a while to heal. Remember back in the day, Pablo, that, and I'm talking maybe like 5 years ago, not even that far back. When you're talking medicine, how far medicine's advancing, it's crazy in the NFL. But, 4 or 5 years ago, a high ankle sprain means half your season was gone. You needed 6 to 8 weeks to rehab a high ankle sprain. Now it's like half the time. That is absolutely crazy how fast that medicine and these healing procedures are moving fast. I mean, it's crazy, man. But yeah, high ankle sprain back in the day means half your season was gone. 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks with a high ankle sprain. That's not the case anymore. Who that to you, Kevin? I see you, baby. Who that? Tyrone Jones, who that? He says Saints running game will kill the Falcons defense. You know what? We're going to kill a defense. And they got the traitorous one. Let us not forget the traitorous one. Tyler Davison is there trying to spread secrets about how we do it on defense. But it won't make a difference because Tyler probably don't know half the stuff he's talking about. Anyway, let's keep it moving. Carlito says, I think Krishan Hogan's going to surprise a lot of people. They got him for a reason. We talked about that, Carlito, the previous show about Krishan Hogan, the guy out of Marin College, and this guy owns several records. I mean, he's called 59 touchdowns, whether receiving and rushing. They called him a touchdown juggernaut, which means the guy had a skill or a gift, if you will, to get in the end zone. Interesting to see what goes on there, but Krishan Hogan could end up catching the practice squad if Dez Bryant comes. So, or they might end up keeping all of them if because he contributes to special teams, so he might be safe. He actually might be safe, and the Saints might actually keep all those wide receivers on the active roster. Look like that's what they're setting up to do anyway. So we'll just keep an eye on him. I'm really interested in Krishan Hogan to see what he can do too, Carlito. I'm with you on that. Miss Sexy Black, who that to you? Miss Sexy Black Smith says, good evening, Big Q. I'm late. I feel you, baby. Yeah, we a little late, but that's all right. Late is better being late. Better being here now than never. So we appreciate you, Miss Sexy Blacksmith. Welcome to the live stream, baby. Who that? PJ. What's up, PJ? PJ says, what up, Q? Who that? And LSU Tigers. That's right. Who that? And LSU Tigers. Who that? And go Tigers, man. Big weekend for both teams. LSU. Now I'm kind of upset about it. We're gonna do a tough Tiger talk coming up on Saturday morning when we go over. We'll preview the Alabama game. Actually, we'll have one coming at you tomorrow. That and a Pelican post-game report coming at you tomorrow on those respective channels. The Tough Tiger Talk channel and the Pelican post-game report. Tough Tiger Talk channel, we're going to go over the LSU, the fact that they was pushed down all the way from number 1 to number, 2 in the rankings, which was absolutely asinine against Ohio State, who has that cupcake schedule. Don't let me get into it, man. It's just a raw deal, man. But anyway, big ups to you, PJ. Welcome. Sexy Black says, Big Q. Okay. Thank you, Miss Sexy Blacksmith. Verla says, yes, Big Q. Do film breakdown, but maybe 5 plays to our family, and the comments would be hella long. LOL. Would you voice in our comments you be pulling a 6-hour show for a game breakdown? Love my fam. Nah, I'll just go do the plays and let the fam go ahead. And if I do, do the film breakdown or whatever, then I'm gonna let the family comment on it. I can't just do the family comment. I just can do my thing and just let the family comment on it. So if y'all really feeling that, family, if y'all are feeling, y'all want me to do a film study or a film breakdown or whatever, let me know, fam, because I can do that. But I like interacting with the family. But, I know enough about football. I played football before, and all this kind of stuff. We can do the film study. Film study ain't nothing to do. It's pretty easy for me. So if you're interested in me doing that, let me know. I'm still working on putting out some actual videos. The Reverend Saint video is just about done. We're going to release it first to our Patreon members first. Derek and Devin, Kelly, and all the family members, they'll see it first. And then eventually, after a day or two, it'll be released to the rest of the fam. And then we have other videos that we're working on that should be released in the next week or so. Comments and concerns, and just a shout out to some of the family members, some of the interviews online from some of our family members chiming in. We got a video, a collage made with comments from some of our family members showing you some of you guys' comments on the air when you call in. It's like a montage of you guys talking and spitting y'all game too. That's coming out real soon too, just to show you the respect, just to let the everybody hear how the fam talking, how they bringing it, to show you how smart these people are. Anyway, that's coming. Just be on the lookout, fam. Tori Ice says, your thought on Shy Tuttle contributions this season. Shy Tuttle, the man that shouldn't have been, right? He beat out, he was a true long shot. Nobody had Shy Tuttle coming in this thing. People had him cut. Shy has stepped up. He is incredibly disruptive. You know, he's really, really, really incredibly disruptive. That's the thing about him. He's played and he plays the run extremely well. He has a pass rush edge. He's really strong, and he has a high motor. The problem with Shy Tuttle over his career was he dealt with injuries. He's finally healthy and contributing. So I think Shy has done really well with the time he's had, and he's basically buried on that defensive line depth chart. You know, Myro Edwards Jr., I thought that he should have pushed Myro Edwards Jr. off the team, you know, but you know what I'm saying, man. But Shy Tuttle, big ups to Shy Tuttle, man. He's been serious. I like what I've seen from Shy, man. Hopefully the Saints keep him around. Paul, who that to? He says Hogan is Jerry Rice and waiting. Oh, that's big. That's big, Paul. Soldier for God says they took number 1 from LSU. They down bad. That's right. Ohio State took number 1 ranking. It came out. The pencil pushers, the bean counter said Ohio State has a better strength of schedule than LSU, which is ridiculous because LSU has won, the only team in college this entire year that has beaten 3 top 10 teams. 3 top 10 teams. 3 top 10 teams. Nobody else has done that, but Ohio State sitting up at number 1. The politics. But we can't get mad about that. We just got to smash the hell out of them. And the only reason why they put Ohio State is up there, they don't want two SEC schools playing for the championship again. It's politics. That's why we need a true playoff system, which we have teams that fight for it and get these bean counting idiots, morons out of the way and let the games be played. All right. But we talk like that on Tough Tiger Talk, fam. So join up if you want to hear more of that. Miss Sexy Black said, what's your number 1 activator? Are you familiar with him? What's with the number 81 activator? Are you familiar? You're talking about Krishawn Hogan, who just was signed by Marion, comes over from Marion University. He owns several receiving and yardage records for his small town college. He was quoted as being a guy that, he had like 59 touchdowns, a combination of rushing touchdowns and receiving touchdowns, which was a school record as well. He was with the Colts early on. He's not a rookie. This guy had a little experience. He was with the Colts early on, and Jeff Ireland scouted this dude. Jeff Ireland knew about this dude, and they've been keeping an eye, from the stories that I read, the accounts that they would keep an eye on this man. As soon as they had an opportunity to get him, they think if you watch, I was able to watch some of his footage. Krishawn Hogan. If y'all have question marks, feel free to go and watch Krishawn Hogan's footage. The dude is one of the guys. He catches the ball extremely well. He's a physical wide receiver, very tough to bring down. And he's an incredibly gifted special teams player. He's really good against around the red zone and catching the ball. Really powerful guy. So I can see why the Saints seen something special in Krishawn Hogan. It's only a matter of time to see how he fits in what the Saints gonna do. But Jeff Ireland was the dude that found him, and I think Jeff Ireland been hitting on it. You know, he's been hitting 100%, so we just gotta ride with Jeff on that. Thank you, there, Miss Sexy Blacksmith. Paul says, I'm still looking for that contract breakdown. Who stays and who has to go before the season is over with Big Q. We're gonna get to that, Paul. I promise you that. Got a lot of stuff going on. It's the busiest time right now for us here because we're covering like 4 sports. I mean, right now, just to put the family on notice, man, extremely busy time right now. We got the Saints at mid-season. They jumping off. We got the Pelicans stuff that goes on. We cover that. There's also the LSU playing right now. So we got LSU going on. We got Pelicans going on. We got the Saints going on. We covering all that. Plus they got various boxing. We do boxing too. Canelo Alvarez just beat up Kovalov. That was a really good one that we dropped a show on. So we got like several different sports going on right now. So we got a bunch of other little videos that we're working on, like the ones I just mentioned of the Reverend Saint one that's coming up. So just be a little patient with us. We're gonna get all that out to you. I promise you, fam. We're gonna get it out to you. Thank you, Paul. All right, keep going. Verlin says, "Yeah, I'm still over 5 plays. I still say over 5 plays. You might have to pack a lunch. We go in. You know this, Q. I know, family. I know, fam. I know, fam. That's why I got love for the Sports Coma family, man. We go in, baby, but we know what we talking about. You know, that's why I got love for my family." Paul says, "Hey, Q, Alabama is the New England Patriots of college football. That's why it's time for that dynasty to go down. LSU is ready for it. They're ready for the challenge, man." Trey Joseph, who that family, says, "Our offense is about to go crazy and crush the Falcons. It's going to get ugly this Sunday. It's going down in a major way. The Saints are on a mission." That's the bottom line. Big ups to you, Trey Joseph. Miss Essie Black says, "Exciting. I'll go check him out. Do you think he can contribute?" Mostly as a special teams ace right now. Now he is on the active roster. Whether or not he'll get balls thrown to him, I think if he's open, Drew Brees will find him. So I'm pretty sure that he'll contribute in some capacity, but more so on a special team capacity, more so than in the active wide receiver. Now, I did see him on multiple plays with him running around there. He don't know their full playbook in full, so he's kind of limited in that aspect, and he's at a position where you can cycle Taysom Hill in there to steal a lot of his reps from him. So I would say his contribution will come mostly on special teams, especially impending Dez Bryant coming in. We'll know what his status is, and the Saints will probably end up keeping all of those wide receivers going. Possibly, they might keep them all there because there's already a slot right there waiting for Dez. So there you go. Thank you for the question, Miss Sexy Blacksmith. Paul says, "I'm still looking for." Okay, I just read that. Paul says, "Hey, Q family, don't forget about the Tulane Green Wave." No, the Green Wave looking good too. That's what I'm saying, man. It's fantastic, man. Everything, it's just lovely, man. Down here in New Orleans, doing it big, man. In the region, it's all beautiful, man. Tulane doing good. LSU is ready to knock off Alabama. The Saints are 7-1, prime for a second half run. It's going down in a major capacity, man, and it's only gonna get better. Drew is back. Elvin Kamara's coming. Jared Cook is healthy. Traquan Smith. And we are gearing up for the second half of the season. It's just a fantastic time to be a Who Dat family member. I mean, it's just fantastic. We go Tigers, LSU, Green Wave, all that. It's going down in a major way, man. But I'd like to thank all the family members for joining us tonight on tonight's live stream. Thank the family for joining us. It's almost been 2 hours, family. And I appreciate the family for chiming in on this one in our midweek show coming at the family. Just had to brief you on the Dez Bryant news, hit you with the injury report, go over some interviews and other things going on as well. And appreciate the family for joining in. Tori says, "Were the New York Football Giants wrong about Eli Apple?" Hell yeah, they were wrong about Eli Apple. That turned out to be an excellent pickup for the Saints, who gave nothing but a 4th-round draft pick to get a 1st-round talent in Eli Apple, who just needed a change of scenery. So, yes, the Saints really got over on them with that one. K-Slim17 said, "I've never seen a more complicated Saints team ever. This is our year. We must take advantage of the opportunity." Who that? You heard me. I hear you, K-Slim17, baby. I agree wholeheartedly with you. William asking any information on Kirkwood. Key Kirkwood is still on the IR, bro. From basically information I had on Keith Kirkwood, that he's going to spend the entire season on the IR, and he's pretty much done for the year. I don't anticipate him coming back. And they get to the part where you talk about bringing people off the IR back to help the team, and guys like Alex Anzalone and all that. I don't see none of that happen. I think the Saints see that most of these guys need to get healthy again. So Keith Kirkwood is still on the IR, and I don't probably see him coming off of that thing probably until next year sometimes, So it's going down, baby. But I'd like to thank all the beautiful black and gold people, man. All y'all for joining us in the live stream. Thank y'all for joining us here, man. I appreciate the hell out of y'all, man. Thank y'all for joining us. And before I let you go, man, I wanted to, we have an opportunity to kind of play some of our ads here. Now, of course, people might not know about hold on, Carlito's saying he coming back, Q. Kirkwood's coming back. I didn't see that, fam. I'm gonna have to look that up about Keith Kirkwood. But that will be interesting. if Keith Kirkwood's coming back off the IR list. Give me just a second. Let me look that up. Because I looked something up on Keith Kirkwood not too long ago. Maybe last week sometime, I think it was. So let's see here. Give me just a second, family. Let me see what I can find on him. Because I haven't heard anything about Keith Kirkwood coming back. All right, let's see, family. Give me just a second. Let me just do a little research on Keith Kirkwood to see what's going on here. Okay, hold on here. Okay, he been on the injury list since week 3. Now, Coach Payton did say that his hamstring injury wouldn't keep him out the whole year. He did say that. That's true, family. He did say that. Yep, and the rule is, that's true. The rule is a minimum of 8 weeks of games potentially being activated for a return. However, he can return to practice after 6 weeks if the medical staff deems him healthy enough to practice. That would coincide with the idle week. So if that's the case, that's still, I don't know on that one, family. I'm going to have to wait on that. I'm going to have to check that one out because that's true. They can activate him this week. That means the idle week. That means this upcoming week, they can activate Keith Kirkwood to play. But you know what I'm thinking, though? If that's the case, and that makes a lot of sense, right, about Keith Kirkwood, maybe he'll be a fallback option if Dez Bryant chooses not to come here. What do you think about that, family? That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. If Keith Kirkwood, could he be a fallback option if Dez Bryant doesn't sign? That's what I'm thinking in my head after reading that report I just read. We'll see. We'll check more on that. We'll have more on that coming up and on the Saturday show. Let's just do that. Allow me to get some more information. Allow me to kind of peer into that, family, and I'm gonna come back on that, Carlito, and look at it because Carlito's saying Kirkwood will be back for the Tampa game. So I don't know, man. I don't know. If Kirkwood comes back, where does that play? You're going to have an overabundance of wide receivers. Somebody got to get the boot. You know, if Dez Bryant comes, do you still need Keith Kirkwood to come back? You know, and I guess Austin Carr goes. I guess that we'll figure it out sooner or later in the next show. But it's not a bad problem to have, to be quite honest with you. But anyway, family, you see some of the gear right here. Feel free to go to the Patreon. I mean, not the Patreon. It's getting late. Anyway, go to the Pro Shop. The Pro Shop is the spot where you can get all the latest black and gold gear from the Sports Coma. It helps kind of help the platform grow in size, in length, and whatnot. We use the proceeds from our gear to fund the platform to grow a bigger and better and powerful platform that can rival all of our rivals, people like the Atlanta Falcon rivals, the Buccaneers, all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing here with Sports Coma. So you can feel free to go to the Pro Shop and pick up some nice Sports Coma gear. Over 20 different styles, coffee cups, smartphone covers, all that kind of beautiful stuff is available at the Pro Shop. You know, you can look at the link in the description section for a link to get to the Pro Shop. So, and probably put one in the show before we leave, in the chat before we leave. Also, to become a member of the Patreon, all you have to do is go to patreon.com/the PRO Media Network, and you become a patron by signing up to give $1 or $5 or $10 or whatever's in your heart to give a month to help empower the platform. As you can see, we have a really nice platform. We're building for the family. We all enjoy this, getting together at least twice a week and talk about the black and gold. It's a really beautiful platform, and I really appreciate if the family considered becoming patrons of the show. It's just another level of helping the platform grow even further moving ahead. So also, a few of our ads, the Pro Media Network. This is the other shows that we talk about. Of course, you know about the Sports Coma. There's also the Pelican Post-Game Report. We cover the Pelicans who are struggling right now. Ring Kings Boxing, all the latest boxing, Ring Kings Boxing World, and Tough Tiger Talk, the LSU podcasts. We do those every week as well. 5 comes on there, and the Bring Kings Boxing World is Eddie Too Mean Johnson, a good friend of mine and a former professional boxer, does the Ring King Boxing World as well, and the Pelican Post Game Report as well. So you can listen to all those podcasts on Spreaker today. Simply go to Spreaker.com/The Sports Coma, and you can sign up to listen to the podcast at work. It's really easy. Also, to let the family know that all the way into the month of December, we're giving away PS4 consoles and Madden games. Simply follow the link there and go there and get more information on how to sign up. And, you can win a podcast like some of our other great family members like 985J, DJ, and the likes. Really excellent way to give back to the community. And we just appreciate the hell out of y'all, man, for all love and things that you do to help the platform. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like I always said, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all the great black and gold families. And also, like I said, man, thank you guys. And before I always go, I got to give a shout out to all the family members before I leave, man. It's just what I do, how I do. Your boy Cuts, who that to you? Will Musgrove, who that to your family? Javier, who that to your family? Travis Wharton, big ups to your homie. Who that? Caleb Kaiser, who that to your family? Who that? Scandat. Let me get that right. Who that? Scandat. Who that to your family? Kelvin Griffin, big ups to your family. Kashin, who that to your fam? Big ups to you, Adrian. Big ups to you, Shedrick Mosley. Who that to your family? AJ Pierce, my dog. Who that to your Purple Knight? Big ups to your family. Who that? Revolt Control Radio, my dog. Who that to you? Kyle Davis, what's up, fam? Who that? Daquan, big ups to you. Appreciate your donation, my dog. Big ups to you. Thank you. Joy, big ups to you too, fam. You and Isabella, who that to you? T Dirty, my dog from the Who Dat for Life camp. Big ups to your family. Who that to you? Sean D. Who that? Tori Ice. Who that? Robert Clark. Who that family? 985J in the building. Who that to you, my dog? Let's see. Desmond Roman. Who that to you? Soldier for God 77. Good to see you, fam. Scoob, my dog Scoob. Who that to you, fam? Let's see who else there. Barack Alone, Maya. Big ups to your homie. Who that? Let's see who else we got here. Derek L, my boy. Who that to you? Kevin Brooks Jr. Who that, my man? Kevin Garner. Who that to you, my family? Let's see who else that. Ray Anderson. Big ups to you, Ray. Who that to you? Guess who? Who that to you as well? Thank you for joining us. Donovan Wilson. Big ups to you, family. Who that? Let's see who else we got here. Lori Hackler. Who that to you, Lori? Thank you for joining us today. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber there, Lori. Let's see who else we got here. Neville, my dog. Who that to you? Once again, thank you, Guess Who, for your donation, family. Appreciate you. Let's see, Robert Clark. Big ups to you as well, family. Eddie Dixon. Who that to you? Annie Clark. Big ups to you, Annie. Thank you for your donation too, family. Thank you for your great comments and appreciate you. Christian Smith, who that to your family as well. Thank you for joining us. Forever Absolute Reactions. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber, fam. Thank you. Till, who that to you, my dog. Pablo, who that to your family. Who that 504 boy. Big ups to your fam as well. Let's see who else we got. Verlin, my dog Verlin. Who that to you? Lionel, big ups to you as well, family. Javier, who that? JT, who that? Randy, big ups to your family. Who that? Let's see. Pablo, once again, who that to your fam? Kevin McKnight, I see you, fam. Who that to you? Tyrone Jones, big ups to you too, Tyrone. Miss Sexy Blacksmith, appreciate the comments and the love, fam. Who that to you? PJ Jew, what up to you, fam? And who that to you, fam? Let's see who else we got here. I think I got everybody. Trey Joseph, who that to you as well, fam. K Slim 17, big ups to you, homie. Who that? Carlito, I see you, fam. Good to see you, Carlito. Who that to you as well. And let me see who else. Eagle Eye, man. Big ups to you, Eagle Eye. I see you on the back end, fam. I see you, Kelvin Washington. Big ups to you, dog. Who that? And let's see, and all the rest of the fam. The fam said hit the like button before you go. Thank you, Will. Eagle Eyes, hello and good night. Baraka Q, what happened to Manti Teo? Let's see. I'm gonna have to probably catch up with you on the next show on that, fam. I wasn't aware of anything happened to Manti. Hold on for a second. That spurred my interest right quick. Hold on. Manti Teo, what happened to him? Let me see. Let me see what's going on with Manti. Let's see what happened. Oh man, don't tell me Manti and got into something. You know let me see. No, I don't know, fam. I don't know what happened to old Manti Till. I'm gonna look it up and come back to you on the next show. I don't know what happened to him. Pablo said, y'all hit the like button on the way out. Please feel free to hit the like button, family, on your way out. Like the family doing trade Joe's, much success to your fam. Verda says, Bees and fam is back to back for me. True that. Who that? NC out. That's right. Appreciate all the family members for joining us today. You too, Paul. Who that to you, my man. Appreciate you once again. And all the family members, please feel free to hit the like button on your way out. Please feel free to take the show and share it. Don't be shy, fam. You got full permission to the show, myself, whatever, to share it wherever you want. Saints Farms, take it to Instagram, take it to Facebook, wherever you guys socialize. Please feel free to share the show. It really helps the platform out exponentially. So I'd like to thank y'all for joining us tonight on the Sports Coma. We'll be coming back at you Saturday at 12 o'clock noon for our regular 2 or 3 hour show. We'll open up the phone lines. We'll have more injury reports. We'll have more interviews, and we'll have some more Saint talk we'll talk about on Sports Coma Saturday at noon on our channel. So thank you for joining us tonight. Who that? Peace.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. #1 sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the Sports Coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the Sports Coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.